Concludes our 31st week of live readings with Troilus and Cressida. I am TJ, I'm our technical director. All of the actors you'll be hearing tonight are volunteering their time and their talents from their homes to bring a little bit of entertainment into your homes. Many of them first met each other just 15 minutes ago when they first logged into this Zoom meeting. We want to thank them very much for joining us. We'd also like to thank our friend, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare, for hosting this on his pages. Check out his website at shakespeareapproves.com and his Patreon at patreon.com/Shakespeare. You can find more about him at the aforementioned website or by visiting his Facebook page, Shakespeare Approves, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. We'll have links to visit him as well as some of our other performer friends in the comments of this video. As always, we want to acknowledge and thank all of the medical professionals and essential workers who've been working tirelessly to keep us all as healthy and safe as possible. We also want to acknowledge those demonstrating and protesting for bravely pushing forward the simple fact that Black Lives Matter. If you're interested in more information about our totally volunteer organization, check out our website, zenithplayers.com. Feel very free to check out our very attractive donations page. 100% of all donations go towards production costs, which these days consist of the various subscriptions that allow for these readings to happen. If you would like to read with us in future projects and not pay money to do it, just send us an email at casting@zenithplayers.com and we'll get you on board. Join us Monday for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Halloween night, October 31st and November 1st, we will present Night of the Living Dead. For now, relax and enjoy as Pandarus, Russell Slater, as Alexander and Thersites, Steve Anderson, as Ulysses, Noah Stanzione, as Achilles, Andrew Gelos, as Agamemnon and Cassandra, Emily Brennan, as Aeneas and a servant, Andrew Weinstein, as Hector, Steve Benelli, as Ajax, Mira Singer, as Helenus and Diomedes, Laura Calandrino, as Paris, Debbie Lockwood, as Nestor, Titania Lovett-Spence, as Patroclus and Deiphobus, Allison Russell, as Menelaus, Bill Nutt, as Priam and Margaretin, Andrea Atwood, as Helen and Andromache, Claire Bohanec, with Will DeJaney and Shakira Searle as Troilus and Cressida. In Troy, there lies the scene. From isles of Greece, the princes Orgulus, their high blood chafed, have to the port of Athens sent their ships, fraught with the ministers and instruments of cruel war. 69 that wore their crownets regal from the Athenian bay put forth toward Phrygia, and their vow is made to ransack Troy, within whose strong immures the ravished Helen, Menelaus' queen, with wanton Paris sleeps. And that's the quarrel. To Tenedos they come, and the deep-drawing barks do there disgorge their warlike fraughtage. Now on Dardan plains the fresh and yet unbruised Greeks do pitch their brave pavilions. Priam's six-gated city, Dardan and Timbria, Helios, Chetus, Troyan, and Antenorides, with massy staples and corresponsive and fulfilling bolts, spar up the sons of Troy. Now expectation, tickling skittish spirits on one and other side, Trojan and Greek, sets all on hazard. And hither am I come, a prologue armed, but not in confidence of author's pen or actor's voice, but suited in like conditions as our argument, to tell you, fair beholders, that our play leaps o'er the vaunt and firstlings of these broils, beginning in the middle, starting thence away to what may be digested in a play. Like or find fault, do as your pleasures are. Now good or bad, 'tis but the chance of war. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Pandarus and Troilus.
Call here my varlet. I'll unarm again. Why should I war without the walls of Troy that find such cruel battle here within? Each Trojan that is master of his heart, let him to the field. Troilus, alas, hath none.
Will this gear ne'er be mended?
The Greeks are strong and skillful to their strength, fierce to their skill, and to their fierceness valiant. But I am weaker than a woman's tear, tamer than sleep, fonder than ignorance, less valiant than the virgin in the night, and skillless as unpracticed infancy.
Well, I have told you enough of this. For my part, I'll not meddle nor make no farther. He that will have a cake out of the wheat must tarry the grinding.
Have I not tarried?
I the grinding, but you must tarry the bolting.
Have I not tarried?
Well, I the bolting, but you must tarry the leavening.
Still have I tarried.
I to the leavening, but yet here's yet in the word, hereafter the kneading, the making of the cake, the heating of the oven, and the baking. Nay, you must not stay, you must stay the cooling too, or you may chance burn your lips.
Patience herself, what goddess ere she be, doth lesser blench at sufferance than I do. At Priam's royal table do I sit, and when fair Cressid comes into my thoughts, so treat her, when she comes. When is she thence?
Well, she looked yesternight fairer than ever I saw her look, or any woman else.
I was about to tell thee. When my heart, as wedged with a sigh, would rive in twain, lest Hector or my father should perceive me, I have, as when the sun doth light a scorn, buried the sigh in wrinkle of a smile. But sorrow that is couched in seeming gladness is like that mirth fate turns to sadness.
And her hair were not somewhat darker than Helen's, well, go to. There were no more comparison between the women. But for my part, she is my kinswoman. I would not, as they term it, praise her, but I would someone had heard her talk yesterday as I did. I will not dispraise your sister Cassandra's wit, but...
Oh, Pandarus. I tell thee, Pandarus, when I do tell thee there my hopes lie drowned, reply not in how many fathoms deep they lie indrenched. I tell thee I am mad in Cressid's love. Thou answerest she is fair, porous in the open ulcer of my heart, her eyes, her hair, her cheek, her gait, her voice, handiest in thy discourse. Oh, that her hand, in whose comparison all whites are ink, writing in their own reproach, to whose soft seizure the sickness drown is harsh, and spirit of sense hard as the palm of plowman. This thou tellest me, as true thou tellest me when I say I love her. But saying thus, instead of oil and balm, thou layest in every gash that love hath given me the knife that made it.
I speak no more than the truth.
Thou dost not speak so much.
Faith, I'll not meddle in it. Let her be as she is. If she be fair, 'tis the better for her. And she be not, she has the mends in her own hands.
Good Pandarus. How now, Pandarus?
I have had my labour for my travail, ill thought on her, and ill thought on of you. Gone between and between, but small thanks for my labour.
What, art thou angry, Pandarus? What, with me?
Because she's kin to me, therefore she's not so fair as Helen. And she were not kin to me, she would be as fair of Friday as Helen is on Sunday. But what care I? I care not, and she were a blackamoor, 'tis all one to me.
Say I she is not fair?
I do not care whether you do or not. She's a fool to stay behind her father. Let her to the Greeks, and so I'll tell her next time I see her. For my part, I'll meddle nor make no more in the matter.
Pandarus.
Not I.
Sweet Pandarus.
Pray you speak no more to me. I will leave all as I found it, and there an end.
He exits.
Peace, you ungracious clamors. Peace, rude sounds. Fools on both sides. Helen must needs be fair when with your blood you daily paint her thus. I cannot find upon this argument. It is too starved a subject for my sword. Oh, but Pandarus. Oh, gods, how you plague me. I cannot come to Cressid but by Pander, and he's as tetchy as to be wooed to woo, as she is stubborn chaste against all suit. Tell me, Apollo, for thy Daphne's love, what Cressid is, what Pander, and what we. Her bed is India, there she lies, a pearl. Between our Ilium and where she resides, let it be called the wild and wandering flood. Ourself the merchant, and this sailing Pander, our doubtful hope, our convoy, and our bark.
Enter Aeneas.
How now, Prince Troilus? Wherefore not afield?
Because not there. This woman's answer sorts, for womanish it is to be from thence. What news, Aeneas, from the field today?
That Paris is returned home, and hurt.
By whom, Aeneas?
Troilus, by Menelaus.
Let Paris bleed. 'Tis but a scar to scorn. Paris is gored with Menelaus's horn.
Hark! What good sport is out of town today?
Better at home, if would I might or may. But to the sport abroad, are you bound thither?
In all swift haste.
Come, go we then together.
They exit. Act 1, Scene 2. Enter Cressida and her man Alexander.
Who were those went by?
Queen Hecuba and Helen,
And whither go they?
who up to the eastern tower, whose height commands as subject all the vale to see the battle. But Hector, whose patience is as a virtue fixed, today was moved. He chid Andromache and struck his armorer. And like as there were husbandry in war, before the sun rose he was harnessed light, and to the field he goes, where every flower did as a prophet weep what it foresaw in Hector's wrath.
What was his cause of anger?
The noise goes this. There is among the Greeks a lord of Trojan blood, nephew to Hector. They call him Ajax.
Good. And what of him?
They say he is a very man per se and stands alone.
So do all men, unless they are drunk, sick, or have no legs.
This man, lady, hath robbed many beasts of their particular additions. He is as valiant as the lion, churlish as the bear, slow as the elephant, a man into whom nature hath so crowded humours that his valour is crushed into folly, his folly sauced with discretion. There is no man hath a virtue that he hath not a glimpse of. Nor any man an attaint, but he carries some stain of it. He is melancholy without cause, and merry against the hair. He hath the joints of everything, but everything so out of joint that he is a gouty Briareus, many hands and no use, or purblind Argus, all eyes and no sight.
But how should this man that makes me smile make Hector angry?
They say he yesterday coped Hector in the battle and struck him down. The disdain and shame whereof hath ever since kept Hector fasting and waking.
Enter Pandarus.
Who comes here?
Madam, your uncle Pandarus,
Hector's a gallant man.
as may be in the world, lady.
What's that? What's that?
Good morrow, Uncle Pandarus.
Good morrow, cousin Cressid. What do you talk of? Good morrow, Alexander. How do you, cousin? Were you at Ilium?
This morning, Uncle.
And what were you talking of when I came? Was Hector armed and gone ere you came up to Ilion? Helen was not up, was she?
Hector was gone, but Helen was not up.
Even so, Hector was stirring early.
That we were talking of, and of his anger.
Was he angry?
So he says here.
True, he was so, and I know the cause too. He'll lay about him today. There's Troilus, will not come far behind him. Let them take heed of Troilus, I can tell them that too.
What, is he angry too?
Who? Troilus? Troilus is the better man of the two.
Oh, Jupiter, there's no comparison.
What? Not between Troilus and Hector? Do you know a man if you see him?
Aye, if ever I saw him before and knew him.
Well, I say Troilus is Troilus.
Then you say as I say, for I am sure he is not Hector.
No, nor Hector is not Troilus in some degrees.
'Tis just to each of them. He is himself.
Himself? Alas, poor Troilus. I would he were.
So he is.
Condition, I had gone barefoot to India.
He is not Hector.
Himself? No, he's not himself. Would he were himself? Well, the gods are above, time must, friend or end. Well, Troilus, well, I would my heart were in her body. No, Hector is not a better man than Troilus.
Excuse me.
He is elder.
Pardon me.
The others not come to it. You shall tell me another tale when the others come to it. Hector shall not have his wit this year,
He shall not need it if he have his own.
nor his qualities,
No matter.
nor his beauty.
'Twould not become him. His own's better.
You have no judgment, niece. Helen herself swore the other day that Troilus, for a brown favour, for 'tis so I must confess, not brown neither.
No, but brown.
Faith, to say truth, brown, and not brown.
To say the truth, true, and not true.
Well, she praised his complexion above Paris's.
Why, Paris hath colour enough.
So he has.
Then Troilus should have too much. If she praised him above, his complexion is higher than his. He, having colour enough, and the other higher, is too flaming a praise for a good complexion. I had as lief Helen's golden tongue had commended Troilus for a copper nose.
I swear to you, I think Helen loves him better than Paris.
But she's a merry Greek indeed.
Nay, I am sure she does. She came to him the other day in the compassed window. And, you know, he was not past 3 or 4 hairs on his chin.
Indeed, a tapster's arithmetic may soon bring his particulars therein to a total.
Why, he's very young. He will within 3 pound lift as much as his brother Hector.
Is he so young a man and so old a lifter?
But to prove to you that Helen loves him, she came and puts me her white hand to his cloven chin.
Juno have mercy, how came it cloven?
Why, you know, 'tis dimpled. I think his smiling becomes him better than any man in all Praga.
Oh, he smiles valiantly.
Does he not?
Oh, yes, 'twere a cloud in autumn.
Why, go to then. But to prove to you that Helen loves Troilus.
Troilus will stand to the proof if you'll prove it so.
Troilus? Why, he esteems her no more than I esteemed an addle egg.
If you love an addle egg as well as you love an idle head, you would eat chickens in the shell.
I cannot choose but to laugh to think how she tickled his chin. Indeed, she has a marvellous white hand, I must needs confess.
Without the rack.
She takes upon her to spy a white hair on his chin.
Alas, poor chin. Many a wart is richer.
But there was such laughing. Queen Hecuba laughed that her eyes ran over.
With millstones.
What?
But there was a far more temperate fire under the pot of her eyes. Did her eyes run o'er too?
And Hector laughed.
At what was all this laughing?
Well, marry, at the white hair that Helen spied on Troilus' chin.
It's been a green hair. I should have laughed too.
They laughed not so much at the hair as at his pretty answer.
What was his answer?
Quoth she, here's but 52 hairs on your chin, and one of them is white.
That is her question.
That's true. Make no question of that. 52 hairs, quoth he, and one white. That white hair is my father, and all the rest are his sons. Jupiter, quoth she, which of those hairs is Paris, my husband? Oh, the forked one, quoth he. He plucked it out and give it him. There was so much laughing, and Helen so blushed, and Paris so chafed, and all the rest so laughed that it passed.
So let it now, for it has been a great while going by.
Well, cousin, I told you a thing yesterday. Think on it.
So I do.
I'll be sworn 'tis true. He will weep you. 'Twere a man born in
And I'll spring up in his tears as 'twere a nettle against May.
Hark, they're coming from the field. Shall we stand up here and see them as they pass toward Ilium? Good niece, do, sweet niece. Cressida.
At your leisure.
Here. Here's an excellent place. Here we may see most bravely. I'll tell you them all by their names as they pass by, but mark Troilus above the rest.
They cross the stage, and Alexander exits.
Speak not so loud.
Enter Aeneas, and crosses the stage.
There's Aeneas. Is that not a brave man? He's one of the flowers of Troy, I can tell you. But mark, Troilus, you shall see anon.
Enter Antenor, and crosses the stage.
Who's that?
That's Antenor. Oh, he has a shrewd wit, I can tell you. And he's a man good enough. He's one of the soundest judgments in Troy, whosoever, and a proper man of person. When comes Troilus, I'll show you Troilus anon. If he see me, you shall see him nod at me.
Will he give you the nod?
Oh, you shall see.
If he do, the rich shall have more.
Enter Hector, and crosses the stage.
Oh, that's Hector. That. There's a fellow. Oh, go thy way, Hector. There's a brave man, niece. Oh, brave Hector. Look how he looks. There's a countenance. Is it not a brave man?
Oh, a brave man.
Is he not? Oh, it does a man's heart good. Oh, look what hacks are on his helmet. Look you yonder. Do you see? Look you there. There's no jesting. There's laying on. Take off who will, as they say. There be hacks.
Be those with swords?
With swords, anything he cares not. And the devil come to him, it's all one. By God's lid, it does one's heart good.
Enter Paris, and crosses the stage.
Oh, yonder comes Paris. Yonder comes Paris. Look you yonder, niece. Is not gallant man too? Is it not? Why, this is brave now. Who said he came hurt home today? He's not hurt. Why, this will do Helen's heart good now, huh? Would I could see Troilus. Now, you'd see Troilus anon.
Enter Helenus, and crosses the stage.
Who's that?
That's Helenus. Mother, where Troilus is. That's Helenus. I think he went not forth today. That's Helenus.
Can Helenus fight, uncle?
Helenus? No. But yes, he'll fight indifferent well. I marvel where Troilus is. Hark you, do not hear the people cry Troilus. Helenus is a priest.
Enter Troilus, and crosses the stage.
What sneaking fellow comes yonder?
Where? Yonder? That's the Phoebus. 'Tis Troilus. There's a man, niece. Brave Troilus, the prince of chivalry.
Peace, for shame, peace.
Mark him, note him. Oh, brave Troilus. Look well upon him, niece. Look you how his sword is bloodied, and his helm more hacked than Hector's, and how he looks, and how he goes. Oh, admirable youth. I never saw 23. Go thy way, Troilus, go thy way. Had I a sister were a grace, or a daughter were a goddess, he would take his choice. Oh, admirable man. Paris? Paris is dirt to him. I warrant Helen to change would give an eye to boot.
Enter common soldiers and cross the stage.
Here comes more.
No, asses, fools, dolts, chaff and bran, porridge after meat. I could live and die in the eyes of Troilus. Never look, the eagles are gone. Crows and doors. I'd rather be such a man as all Greece.
There is amongst the Greeks Achilles, a better man than Troilus.
Achilles? A drayman, a porter, a very camel.
Well.
Well, why have you any discretion? Have you any eyes? Do you know what a man is? Is not birth, beauty, good shape, discourse, manhood, learning, gentleness, virtue, youth, liberality, and such like the spice and salt that season a man?
Aye, a minced man, and then to be baked with no date in the pie, for then the man's date is out.
You are such a woman, a man knows not at what ward you lie.
Upon my back to defend my belly, upon my wit to defend my wiles, upon my secrecy to defend mine honesty, my mask to defend my beauty, and you to defend all these. And at all these wards I lie at 1,000 watches.
Say one of your watches.
Nay, I'll watch you for that, and that's one of the chiefest of them too. If I cannot ward what I would not have hit, I can watch you for telling how I took the blow, unless it's swell past hiding, and then it's past watching.
You are such another.
Enter Troilus's boy.
Sir, my lord would instantly speak with you. At your own house, there he unarms him.
Oh, good boy, tell him I come.
Boy,
I doubt he heard. Fare you well, good niece.
Adieu, uncle.
I'll be with you, niece, by and by.
To bring, uncle?
A token from Troilus.
By the same token, you are a board.
Pandarus exits.
Words, vows, gifts, tears, and love's full sacrifice he offers in another's enterprise. But more in Troilus 1,000-fold I see than in the glass of Pandar's praise may be. Yet I hold off. Women are angels wooing. Things won are done. Joy's soul lies in the doing. That she beloved knows naught that knows not this. Men prize the thing ungained more than it is. That she was never yet that ever knew the love got so sweet as when desire did sue. Therefore this maxim out of love I teach. Achievement is command, ungained beseech. Then, though my heart's content firm love doth bear, nothing of that shall from mine eyes appear.
She exits. Act 1, Scene 3. Enter Agamemnon, Nestor, Ulysses, Diomedes, Menelaus, with others.
Princes, what grief hath set the jaundice o'er your cheeks? The ample proposition that hope makes in all designs begun on earth below fails in the promised largeness. Checks and disasters grow in the veins of actions highest reared as knots by the conflux of meeting sap, infects the sound pine and diverts his grain toward of an errant from his course of growth. Nor, princes, is it matter new to us that we come short of our suppose so far that after 7 years' siege, yet Troy walls stand, sith every action that hath gone before, whereof we have record, trial did draw, bias and thwart, not answering the aim, and that unbodied figure of the thought that gave it surmised shape. Why then, you princes, do you with cheeks abashed behold our works and call them shames, which are indeed naught else but the protractive trials of great Jove to find persistent constancy in men, the fineness of which metal is not found in fortune's love? For then the bold and coward, the wise and fool, the artist and unread, the hard and soft seem all affined in kin, but in the wind and tempest of her frown, distinction with a broad and powerful fan, puffing at all, winnows the light away, and with half mass or matter by itself lies rich in virtue and unmingled.
With due observance of thy godlike seek, great Agamemnon Nestor shall apply thy latest words. In the reproof of chance lies the true proof of men, the sea being smooth. How many shallow bauble boats dare sail upon her patient breast, making their way with those nobler folk? But let the ruffian Boreas once enrage, the gentle Thetis, and anon behold the strong-ribbed bark through liquid mountains cut, bounding between the two moist elements, like Perseus' horse. Where's then the saucy boat, whose weak, untimbered sides, but even now, corriveled greatness, either to harbour fled, or made a toast of Neptune? Even so doth valour's show and valour's worth divide in storms of fortune. For in her ray and brightness the herd hath more annoyance by the breeze than by the tiger, but when the splitting wind makes flexible the knees of knotted oaks, and flies flee under shade, why then the thing of courage, as roused with rage doth sympathize, and with an ancient tune in self-same key resorts to chiding fortune.
Agamemnon, thou great commander, nerves and bone of Greece, heart of our numbers, soul and only sprite, in whom the tempers and the minds of all should be shut up. Hear what Ulysses speaks. Besides the applause and approbation, the which most mighty for thy place and sway, and thou most reverend for thy stretched out life, I give to both your speeches, which were such as Agamemnon and the hand of Greece should hold up high in brass, and such again as venerable Nestor, hatched in silver, should with a bond of air, strong as the axle tree on which the heaven rides, knit all the Greekish ears to his experienced tongue. Yet let it please both, thou great and wise, to hear Ulysses speak.
Speak, Prince of Ithaca, and be it of less expect that matter needless of importless burden, divide thy lips, then we are confident when rank Thersites opens his massic jaws, we shall hear music, wit, and oracle.
Troy, yet upon his basis, had been down, and the great Hector's sword had lacked a master but for these instances. The specialty of rule hath been neglected, and look how many Grecian tents do stand hollow upon this plain, so many hollow factions, when that the general is not like the hive to whom the foragers shall all repair. What honey is expected? Degree being visited, the unworthiest chooses fairly in the mask. The heavens themselves, the planets, and this center observe degree, priority, and place in sister, course, proportion, season, form, office, and custom in all line of order. And therefore is the glorious planet Sol in noble eminence enthroned and sphered amidst the other, whose medicinable eye corrects the influence of evil planets and posts like commandments of a king, sans check to good and bad. But when the planets in evil mixture to disorder wander, what plagues and what portents, what mutiny, what raging of the sea, shaking of earth, commotion in the winds, frights, changes, horrors, divert and crack, rend and deracinate the unity and married calm of states quite from their fixture. Oh, when degree is shaped, which is the ladder of all high designs, the enterprise is sick. How could communities, degrees in schools and brotherhoods in cities, peaceful commerce from dividable shores, the primogenity and due of birth, prerogative of age, crowns, scepters, laurels, but by degree stand in authentic place? It take but degree away, untune that string, and hark, what discord follows. Each thing meets in mere oppugnancy. The bounded waters should lift their bosoms higher than the shores and make a stop of all this solid globe. Strength should be lord of imbecility, and the rude son should strike his father dead. Force should be right, or rather right and wrong, between whose endless jar justice resides, should lose their names, and so should justice too. Then everything includes itself in power, power into will, will into appetite, and appetite an universal wolf, so doubly seconded with will and power, must make perforce an universal prey and last eat up himself. The great Agamemnon, this chaos, when degree is suffocate, follows the choking. And this neglection of degree it is that by pace goes backward with a purpose it hath to climb. The generals disdained by him one step below, he by the next, that next by him beneath. So every step exampled by the first pace that is sick of his superior grows to an envious fever of pale and bloodless emulation. 'Tis this fever that keeps Troy on foot, not her own sinews. To end a tale's length, Troy in our weakness stands, not in her strength.
Most wisely have Ulysses here discovered the fever whereof all our power is sick.
The nature of the sickness found, Ulysses, what is the remedy?
The great Achilles, whom opinion crowns the sinew and the forehand of our host, having his ear full of his airy fame, grows dainty of his worth, and in his tent lies mocking our designs. With him, Patroclus, upon a lazy bed livelong day, breaks scurril jests, and with ridiculous and silly action, which slander he imitation calls. He pageants us. Some time, great Agamemnon, thy topless deputation he puts on, and like a strutting player whose conceit lies in his hamstring, doth think it rich to hear the wooden dialogue and sound twixt his stretched footing and the scaffoldage. Such to be pitied and o'er-rested seeming, he acts the high greatness in, and when he speaks, 'tis like a chime amending with terms unsquared, which from the tongue of roaring Typhon dropped would seem hyperboles. At this fusty stuff, large Achilles on his pressed bed lolling from his deep chest laughs out a loud applause, cries, "Excellent! It is Agamemnon right now. Play me Nestor, hem, and stroke thy beard as he is being dressed in some oration." That's done, as near as the extremest ends of parallels, as like as Vulcan and his wife. Yet God Achilles still cries, "Excellent! It is Nestor right now. Play him me, Patroclus, arming to answer in a knight's alarm." And then, forsooth, the faint defects of age must be the scene of mirth too. Cough and spit, and with the palsy fumbling on his gorget, shake in and out the rivet. And at this sport, Sir Valor dies, cries, "Oh, enough, Patroclus, or give me ribs of steel, I shall split all in pleasure of my spleen." And in this fashion, all our abilities, gifts, natures, shapes, severals, and generals of grace exact achievements, plots, orders, preventions, excitements to the field, or speech for truth, success or loss, what is or is not, serves as stuff for these two to make paradoxes.
And in the imitation of these twain, who as Ulysses says opinion crowns, with an imperial voice, many are in fact. Ajax is grown self-willed and bears his head in such a reign in full as proud a place, as broad Achilles keeps his tent like him, makes factious feasts, rails on a state of war, bold as an oracle, and sets Perseus, a slave whose gall coins slanders like a mint, to match us in comparisons with dirt, to weaken and discredit our exposure, how rank soever rounded in with danger.
They tax our policy and call it cowardice. They count wisdom as no member of the war, forestall prescience, and esteem no act but that of hand. The still and mental parts do contrive how many hands shall strike when fitness calls them on, and know by measure their observant toil the enemy's weight. Why, this hath not a finger's dignity. They call this bedwork, mappery, closet war, so that the ram that batters down the wall for the great swinge and rudeness of his poise, they place before his hand that made the engine, or those that with the fineness of their souls by reason guide his execution.
Let this be granted, an Achilles' horse makes many Thetis' son.
What trumpet? Look, Menelaus.
From Troy.
Enter Aeneas with a trumpeter.
What would you for our tent?
Is this great Agamemnon's tent, I pray you?
Even this?
May one that is a herald and a prince do a fair message to this kingly eye?
With surety stronger than Achilles' arm for all the Greekish host, which with one voice call Agamemnon head and general.
Their leave and large security. How may a stranger to those most imperial looks know them from eyes of other mortals?
How?
I asked that I might wake in reverence and bid the check be ready with a blush, modest as morning, when she coldly eyes the youthful Phoebus, which is that god in office guiding men, which is the high and mighty Agamemnon.
This Trojan scorns us, or the men of Troy are ceremonious courtiers.
Courtiers are free as debonair, unarmed, as bending angels. That's their fame in peace. But when they would seem soldiers, they have galls, good arms, strong joints, true swords, and great Jove's accord. Nothing so full of heart. But peace, Aeneas, peace. Trojan, lay thy fingers on thy lips. The worthiness of praise disdains his worth. If that the praised himself, bring the praise forth. But what the repining enemy commends, that breath fame blows, that praise soul pure transcends.
Sir, you of Troy, you call yourself Aeneas?
I, Greek, that is my name.
What's your affair, I pray you?
Sir, pardon, 'tis for Agamemnon's ears.
He hears not privately that comes from Troy.
Nor I from Troy come not to whisper with him. I bring a trumpet to awake his ear, to set his sense on the attentive bent, and then to speak.
Speak frankly as the wind. It is not Agamemnon's sleeping hour that thou shalt know, Trojan. He is awake. He tells thee so himself.
Trumpet, blow loud. Send thy brass voice through all these lazy tents, and every Greek of metal, let him know what Troy means fairly shall be spoke aloud. We have, great Agamemnon, here in Troy, a prince called Hector. Priam is his father, who in this dull and long-continued truce is rusty grown. He bade me take a trumpet, and to this purpose speak. Kings, princes, lords, If there be one among the fairest of Greece that holds his honor higher than his ease, that seeks his praise more than he fears his peril, that knows his valor and knows not his fear, that loves his mistress more than in confession, with truant vows to her own lips he loves, and dare avow her beauty and her worth in other arms than hers, to him this challenge. Hector, in view of Trojans and of Greeks, shall make it good, or do his best to do it. He hath a lady wiser, fairer, truer than ever Greek did couple in his arms, and will tomorrow with his trumpet call, midway between your tents and walls of Troy, to rouse a Grecian that is true in love. If any come, Hector shall honor him. If none, he'll say in Troy when he retires, the Grecian dames are sunburnt and not worth the splinter of a lance. Even so much.
This shall be told our lovers, Lord Aeneas. If none of them have soul in such a kind, we left them all at home. But we are soldiers, and made that soldier a mere recreant prove, that means not, hath not, or is not in love. If then one is, or hath more means to be, that one meets Hector. If none else, I am he.
Tell him of Nestor, one that was a man, when Hector's grandsire sucked. He is old now, but if there be not in our Grecian host a noble man that have one, speak of fire, to answer for his love, tell him from me, I'll hide my silver beard in a gold beaver, and in my embrace put my withered brawns, and meeting him will tell him that my lady was fairer than his grandam, and as chaste as may be in the world, his youth in flood. I'll prove his troth with my 3 drops of blood.
Now heavens forfend such scarcity of youth.
Amen.
Fair Lord Aeneas, let me touch your hand. To our pavilion shall I lead you, sir. Achilles shall have word of this intent. So shall each lord of Greece from tent to tent. Yourself shall feast with us before you go, and find the welcome of a noble foe.
All but Ulysses and Nestor exit.
Nestor,
What says Ulysses?
I have a young conception in my brain. Be you my time to bring it to some shape.
What is it?
This 'tis. Blunt wedges rive hard nuts. The seeded pride that hath to this maturity blown up in rank Achilles must or now be cropped, or shedding breed a nursery of like evil to o'erbalk us all.
Well, and how?
This challenge that the gallant Hector sends, however it is spread in general name, relates in purpose only to Achilles.
True, the purpose is perspicuous as substance, whose grossness little characters sum up, and in the publication make no strain, but that Achilles were his brain as barren as banks of Libya, though Apollo knows 'tis dry enough, will with great speed of judgment, I with celerity find Hector's purpose pointing on Shim.
And waken to the answer, think you?
Why, 'tis most meet. Who may you else oppose that can from Hector bring his honour off, if not Archaean? Though thou'lt be a sportful combat, yet in the trial much opinion dwells. For here the Trojans taste our dearest repute, with their thirstiest palate. And trust to me, Ulysses, our imputation shall be oddly poised in this vile action, for the success, although particular, shall give a scantling of good or bad unto the general. And in such indexes, although small pricks, to their subsequent volumes there is seen the baby figure of this giant mass of things to come at large. It is supposed he that meets Hector issues from our choice, and choice being mutual act all of our souls, makes merit her election and doth boil, as 'twere from us all a man distilled out of our virtues, who miscarrying what heart receives from hence a conquering part, to steal a strong opinion to themselves, which entertained limbs are his instruments, in no less working than our swords and bows, directed by the limbs.
Give pardon to my speech. Therefore 'tis meet Achilles meet not Hector. Let us, like merchants, first show foul wares, and think perchance they'll sell. If not, the luster of the better shall exceed by showing the worst first. Do not consent that ever Hector and Achilles meet, for both our honor and our shamelessness are dogged with two strange followers.
I see them not with my old eyes. What are they?
What glory our Achilles shares from Hector, were he not proud, we should share all with him. But he already is too insolent, and it were better parch in Afric's sun than in the pride and salt scorn of his eyes should he scape Hector fair. If he were foiled, why then we do our main opinion crush and taint of our best man. No, make a lottery, and by device let lockish Ajax draw the sort to fight with Hector. Among ourselves, give him allowance for the better man, for that will physic the great Myrmidon, who broils in loud applause, and make him fall his crest, that prouder than blue iris bends. If the dull, brainless Ajax come off safe, we'll dress him up in voices. If he fail, yet go we under our opinion still that we have better men. But hit or miss our project's life, this shape of sense assumes. Ajax employed plucks down Achilles' plumes.
Now, Ulysses, I begin to relish thy advice, and I will give a taste thereof forthwith. To Agamemnon go we to him straight. Two curs shall we tame each other, pride alone must tar the mastiffs on 'twere a bone.
They exit. End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Enter Ajax and Thersites.
Thersites!
Agamemnon, how if he had boils full all over generally?
Thersites!
And those boils did run. Say so. Did not the general run then? Were not that a botchy corps?
Dog!
Then there would come some matter from him. I see none now.
Thou bitch wolf's son, canst thou not hear? Feel then.
I plague of grease upon thee, the mongrel beef-witted lord.
Speak then, thou unsalted leaven, speak. I will beat thee into handsomelessness.
I shall sooner rail thee into wit and holiness, but I think thy horse will sooner con an oration than thou learn a prayer without book. Thou canst strike, canst thou? The red murrain of the jade's tricks.
Toadstool, learn me that proclamation.
Dost thou think I have no sense? Thou strikest me thus.
The proclamation!
Thou art proclaimed a fool, I think.
Do not, Porpentine, do not. My fingers itch.
Oh, I would thou didst itch from head to foot, and I had the scratching of thee. I would make thee the loathsomest scab in Greece. Thou art forth in the incursions, thou strikest as slow as another.
I say the proclamation.
Thou grumblest and railest every hour on Achilles, and thou art as full of envy at his greatness as Cerberus is at Proserpina's beauty. Aye, that thou balked at him.
Mistress Thersites.
Thou shouldst strike him.
Cobloaf.
He would pound thee into shivers with his fist as a sailor breaks a biscuit.
You whoreson cur.
Do.
Thou stool for a witch.
I do, thou sodden-witted lord. Thou hast no more brain than I have in my elbow. An ass and eagle may tutor thee, the scurvy valiant ass. Thou art here but to thrash Trojans, and thou art bought and sold among those of any wit like a barbarian slave. If thou used to beat me, I will begin at thy heel and tell thee what thou art by inches, thou thing of no bowels, thou.
You dog!
You scurvy lord!
You cur!
Mars, he is idiot! Do, rudeness, do, camel, do!
Enter Achilles and Patroclus.
Why, how now, Ajax? Wherefore do you thus? How now, Thersites? What's the matter, man?
You see him there, do you?
Aye, what's the matter?
Nay, look upon him.
So I do. What's the matter?
Nay, but regard him well.
Well, why, so I do.
But yet you look not well upon him. For whomsoever you take him to be, he is Ajax.
I know that, fool.
Aye, but that fool know not himself.
Therefore I beat thee.
What modicums of wit he offers. His evasions have ears this long. I've bobbed my brain more than he has beat my bones. I will buy 9 sparrows for a penny, and his pia mater is not worth the 9th part of a sparrow. This Lord Achilles, Ajax, who wears his wit in his belly and his guts in his head. I'll tell you what I say of him.
What?
I say, this Ajax
nay, good Ajax.
has not so much wit.
Nay, I must hold you.
As will stop the eye of Helen's needle, for whom we come to fight.
Peace, fool.
I would have peace and quietness, but the fool will not. He there, that he. Look you there.
Oh, thou damned cur, I shall.
Will you set your wit to a fool's?
No, I warrant you, the fools will shame it.
Good words, Thersites.
What's the quarrel?
I bade the vile owl go learn me the tenor of the proclamation, and he rails upon me.
I serve thee not.
Well, go to, go to.
I serve here voluntary.
Your last service was a sufferance. 'Twas not voluntary. No man has beaten voluntary. Ajax was here the voluntary, and you as under an impress.
And so, a great deal of your wit too lies in your sinews, or else there be liars. Hector shall have a great catch, and he knock out either of your brains. You're as good crack a fusty nut with no kernel.
What, with me too, Thersites?
There's Ulysses and old Nestor, whose wit was moldy ere your grandsires had nails on their toes. You like draft oxen and make you plow up the wars.
What? What?
Yes, good sooth. To Achilles, to Ajax, to...
I shall cut out your tongue.
'Tis no matter. I shall speak as much as thou afterwards.
No more words, Thersites. Peace.
I will hold my peace when Achilles Brock bids me, shall I?
There's for you, Patroclus.
I will see you hanged like clodpools ere I come any more to your tents. I will keep where there is wit stirring, and leave the faction of fools.
He exits.
A good riddance.
Marry, this, sir, is proclaimed through all our host, that Hector, by the 5th hour of the sun, will with a trumpet twixt our tents and Troy tomorrow morning call some knight to arms that hath a stomach, and such a one that dare maintain I know not what, 'tis trash. Farewell.
Farewell. Who shall answer him?
I know not. 'Tis put to lottery. Otherwise, he knew his man.
Oh,
Achilles and
you?
Patroclus exit.
I will go learn more of it.
He exits. Act 2, Scene 2. Enter Priam, Hector, Troilus, Paris, and Helenus.
After so many hours, lives, speeches spent, thus once again says Nestor from the Greeks, deliver Helen, and all damage else is honor, loss of time, travel, expense, wounds, friends, and what else dear that is consumed in hot digestion of this cormorant war shall be struck off. Hector, what say you to it?
Though no man lesser fears the Greeks than I, As far as toucheth my particular, yet, dread Priam, there is no lady of more softer bowels, more spongy to suck in the sense of fear, more ready to cry out, who knows what follows, than Hector is. The wound of peace is surety, surety secure, but modest doubt is called the beacon of the wise. The tent that searches to the bottom of the worst, let Helen go, since the first sword was drawn upon this question. Every tithe soul mongst many thousand dismiss hath been as dear as Helen. I mean, of ours. If we have lost so many tenths of ours to guard a thing not ours, nor worth to us, had it our name, the value of men 10. What merits in that reason which denies the yielding of her up?
Fie, fie, my brother. Weigh you the worth and honor of a king so great as our dread fathers in a scale of common ounces? Will you with counter sum the past proportion of his infinite, and buckle in a waist most fathomless, with spans and inches so diminutive as fears and reasons? Fie, for godly shame!
No marvel, though you bite so sharp at reasons. You are so empty of them. Should not our father bear the great sway of his affairs with reason, because your speech hath none that tell him so?
You are for dreams and slumbers, brother priest. You fur your gloves with reason. Here are your reasons. You know an enemy intends you harm. You know a sword employed is perilous, and reason flies as the object of all harm. Who marvels, then, when Alinus beholds a Grecian and his sword, if he do set the very wings of reason to his heels, and fly like chidden Mercury from Jove, or like a star disorbed? Nay, if we talk of reason, let's shut our gates and sleep. Manhood and honor should have hare hearts, if would they but fat their thoughts with this crammed reason. Reason and respect make livers pale and lustihood deject.
Brother, she is not worth what she doth cost the keeping.
What's aught but as 'tis valued?
But value dwells not in particular will, it holds its estimate and dignity, as well wherein 'tis precious of itself, as in the prizer. 'Tis mad idolatry to make the service greater than the god, and the will dotes that is attributive to what infectionately itself affects without some image of the affected merit.
I take today a wife, and my election is led on in the conduct of my will. My will enkindled by mine eyes and ears, two traded pilots twixt the dangerous shores of will and judgment. How may I avoid, although my will distaste what it elected, the wife I choose? There can be no evasion to blench from this and to stand firm by honor. We turn not back the silks upon the merchant when we have soiled them, nor the remainder of viands we do not throw in unrespective sieve because we now are full. It was thought meet Paris should do some vengeance on the Greeks. Your breath with full consent bellied his sails. The seas and the winds old wranglers took a truce and did him service. He touched the ports desired, and for an old aunt whom the Greeks held captive, he brought a Grecian queen, whose youth and freshness wrinkles Apollo's and makes pale the morning. Why keep we her? The Grecians keep our aunt. Is she worth keeping? Why, she is a pearl whose price has launched above 1,000 ships and turned crowned kings to merchants. If you'll avouch 'twas wisdom Paris went, as you must needs, for you all cried, go, go. If you'll confess he brought home worthy prize, as you must needs, for you all clapped your hands and cried, inestimable. Why do you now the issue of the proper wisdom's rate and do a deed that never fortune did? Beggar the estimation which you prize richer than land and sea. Oh, theft most base, that we have stolen what we do fear to keep! But thieves unworthy of a thing so stolen, that in their country did them disgrace, we fear to warrant in our native place.
Cry, Trojans, cry!
What noise? What shriek is this?
Our mad sister. I do know her voice.
Cry, Trojans!
It is Cassandra.
Enter Cassandra.
Cry! Trojans, cry! Lend me 10,000 eyes, and I will fill them with prophetic tears.
Peace, sister, peace.
Virgins and boys, mid-age and wrinkled elders, soft infancy with nothing canst but cry, add to my clamors. Let us pay betimes a moiety of the mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry! Practice your eyes with tears. Troy must not be, nor goodly Ilion stand. Our firebrand brother Paris burns us all. Cry, Trojans, cry! A Helen and a woe. Cry, cry. Troy burns, or else let Helen go.
She exits.
Now, youthful Troilus, do not these high strains of divination in our sister work some touches of remorse? Or is your blood so madly hot that no discourse of reason nor fear of bad success in a bad cause can qualify the same?
Why, brother actor, we may not think the justness of each act such and no other than event doth form it, nor once deject the courage of our minds because Cassandra's mad. Her brain-sick raptures cannot distaste the goodness of a quarrel which hath our several honors all engaged to make it gracious. For my private part, I am no more touched than all Priam's sons, and Jove forbid that there should be done amongst us such things as might offend the weakest spleen to fight for and maintain.
Else might the world convince of levity as well my undertakings as your counsels. But I attest the gods, your full consent gave wings to my propension and cut off all fears attending on so dire a project. For what, alas, can these my single arms? What propugnation is in one man's valor to stand the push and enmity of those this quarrel would excite? Yet, I protest, were I alone to pass the difficulties and had as ample power as I have will, Paris should ne'er retract what he hath done, nor faint in the pursuit.
Paris, you speak like one besotted on your sweet delights. You have the honey still, but these the gall, so to be valiant is no praise at all.
Sir, I propose not merely to myself the pleasures such a beauty brings with it, but I would have the soil of her rape wiped off in honorable keeping her. What treason were it to the ransacked queen, disgrace to your great worths, and shame to me, now to deliver her possession up on terms of base compulsion? Can it be that so degenerate a strain as this should once set footing in your generous bosoms? There's not the meanest spirit on our party without a heart to dare or sword to draw when Helen is defended, nor none so noble whose life were ill bestowed or death unfamed where Helen is the subject. Then I say, well may we fight for her whom we know well the world's large spaces cannot parallel.
Paris and Troilus, you have both said well, and on the cause in question now in hand have glozed, but superficially, not much unlike young men whom Aristotle thought unfit to hear moral philosophy. The reasons you allege do more conduce to the hot passion of distempered blood than to make up a free determination twixt right and wrong, for pleasure and revenge. have ears more deaf than adders to the voice of any true decision. Nature craves all dues be rendered to their owners. Now what nearer debt in all humanity than wife is to the husband? If this law of nature be corrupted through affection, and that great minds of partial indulgence to their benumbed wills resist the same, there is a law in each well-ordered nation to curb those raging appetites that are most disobedient and refractory. If Helen then be wife to Sparta's king, as it is known she is, these moral laws of nature and of nations speak aloud to have her back returned. Thus to persist in doing wrong extenuates not wrong, but makes it much more heavy. Hector's opinion is this in way of truth. Yet nevertheless, my sprightly brethren, I prepend to you in resolution to keep Helen still. For 'tis a cause that hath no mean dependence upon our joint and several dignities.
Why, there you touch the life of our design. Were it not glory that we more affected than the performance of our heaving spleens, I would not wish a drop of Trojan blood spent more in her defense. But worthy Hector, she is a theme of honor and renown, a spur to valiant and magnanimous deeds, whose present courage may beat down our foes, and fame in time to come canonize us. For I presume great Hector would not lose so rich advantage of a promised glory as smiles upon the forehead of this action for the wide world's revenue.
I am yours, you valiant offspring of great Priamus. I have a roisting challenge sent amongst the dull and factious nobles of the Greeks. Will strike amazement to their drowsy spirits. I was advertised, their great general slept, whilst emulation in the army crept. This, I presume, will wake him.
They exit. Act 2, Scene 3. Enter Thersites alone.
How now, Thersites? What, lost in the labyrinth of thy fury? Shall the elephant Ajax carry it thus? He beats me, and I rail at him. Worthy satisfaction. Would it were otherwise, that I could beat him whilst he railed at me. Oh, I have learned to conjure and raise devils, but I'll see some issue of my spiteful execrations. Then there's Achilles, a rare engineer. If Troy be not taken till these two undermine it, the walls will stand till they fall of themselves. Oh, thou great thunder, daughter of Olympus, forget that thou art Jove, the king of gods. And Mercury, lose all the serpentine craft of thy caduceus, if you take not that little, less than little wit from them that they have, which short-armed ignorance itself knows is so abundant scarce, it will not in circumvention deliver a fly for a spider without drawing their massy irons and cutting the web. After this, vengeance on the whole camp, or rather, the Neapolitan bone ache, for that, methinks, is the curse depending on those that war for a placket. I have said my prayers, and devil envy say amen. What ho, my lord Achilles?
Who's there? Thersites? Good Thersites, come in and rail.
If I could have remembered a gilt counterfeit, thou couldst not have slipped out of my contemplation. But it is no matter. Thyself upon thyself. Common curse of mankind, folly and ignorance be thine in great revenue. Heaven bless thee from a tutor, and discipline come not near thee. Let thy blood be thy direction till thy death. Then, if she lays thee out, says thou art a fair course, I'll be sworn and sworn upon it, she never shrouded any but Lazarus. Amen.
Enter Patroclus.
What, art thou devout? Wast thou in prayer?
Aye, the heavens hear me.
Amen.
Who's there?
Thersites, my lord.
Where? Where? Oh, where?
Enter Achilles.
Art thou come? Why, my cheese, my digestion, why hast thou not served thyself into my table so many meals? Come, what's Agamemnon?
Thy commander, Achilles. Then tell me, Patroclus, what's Achilles?
Thy lord, Thersites. Then tell me, I pray thee, what's Thersites?
Thy knower, Patroclus. Then tell me, Patroclus, what art thou?
Thou must tell that knowest.
Oh, tell.
I'll decline the whole question. Agamemnon commands Achilles. Achilles is my lord. I am Patroclus's knower. But Patroclus is a fool.
You rascal.
Peace, fool. I have not done.
He is a privileged man. Proceed, Thersites.
Agamemnon is a fool. Achilles is a fool. Thersites is a fool. And as aforesaid, Patroclus is a fool.
Derive this. Come.
Agamemnon is a fool to offer to command Achilles. Achilles is a fool to be commanded of Agamemnon. Thersites is a fool to serve such a fool. And this Patroclus is a fool positive.
Why am I a fool?
Make that demand of the Creator. Suffices me, thou art.
Enter at a distance Agamemnon, Ulysses, Nestor, Diomedes, Ajax, and Calchas.
Look, who comes here?
Patroclus, I'll speak with nobody. Come in with me, Thersites.
He exits.
There's such patchery, such juggling, such knavery. All the argument is a whore and a cuckold. A good quarrel to draw emulous factions and bleed to death upon. The dry sucker go on the subject, and war and lechery confound all.
He exits.
Where is Achilles?
Within his tent, but ill-disposed, my lord.
Let it be known to him that we are here. He sent our messengers, and we lay by our appertainments, visiting of him. Let him be told so, lest perchance he think we dare not move the question of our place, or know not what we are.
I shall say so to him.
He exits.
We saw him in the opening of his tent. He is not sick.
Yes, lion sick of proud heart. You may call it melancholy if you will favor the man, but by my head 'tis pride. But why? Let him show us a cause. A word, my lord.
What moves Ajax thus to bay at him?
Achilles hath inveigled his fool from him.
Who, Pherestes?
He.
Then will Ajax lack matter if he have lost his argument?
No, you see, he is his argument that has his argument. Achilles.
All the better. Their fraction is more our wish than their faction, but it was a strong composure a fool could disunite.
The amity that wisdom knits not, folly may easily untie.
Enter Patroclus.
Here comes Patroclus.
No Achilles with him?
The elephant hath joints, but none for courtesy. His legs are legs for necessity, not for flexion.
Achilles bids me to say he is much sorry. If anything more than your sport and pleasure did move your greatness and this noble state to call upon him, he hopes it is no other but for your health and your digestion's sake and after dinner's breath.
Hear you, Patroclus. We are too well acquainted with these answers, but his evasion, winged thus swift with scorn, cannot overfly our apprehensions. Much attribute we hath, and much the reason why we ascribe it to him. Yet all his virtues, not virtuously on his own part beheld, do in our eyes begin to lose their gloss. Yea, and like fair fruit in an unwholesome dish, are like to rot untasted. Go and tell him we come to speak with him. And you shall not sin if you do say we think him overproud and under honest and self-assumption greater than the note of judgment and worthier than himself. Here tend the savage strangeness he puts on, disguise the holy strength of their command, and underwrite in an observing kind his humorous predominance. Yea, watch his course and time. He ebbs and flows as if the passage and whole carriage of this action rode on his tide. Go tell him this, and add that if he overhold his price so much will none of him, but let him, like an engine not portable, lie under his report. Bring action hither, this cannot go to war. A stirring dwarf we do allowance give before a sleeping giant. Tell him so.
I shall, and bring his answer presently.
In second voice will not be satisfied. We come to speak with him. Ulysses, enter you.
Ulysses exits with Patroclus.
What is he more than another?
No more than what he thinks he is.
Is he so much? Do you not think he thinks himself a better man than I am?
No question.
Will you subscribe his thought and say he is?
No, noble Ajax. You are as strong, as valiant, as wise, no less noble, much more gentle, and altogether more tractable.
Why should a man be proud? How doth pride grow? I know not what pride is.
Your mind is the clearer, Ajax, and your virtues the fairer. He that is proud eats up himself. Pride is his own glass, his own trumpet, his own chronicle, and whatever praises itself, but in the deed devours the deed in the praise.
I do hate a proud man as I hate the engendering of toads.
And yet he loves himself. Is it not strange?
Enter Ulysses.
Achilles will not to the field tomorrow.
What's his excuse?
He doth rely on none, but carries on the stream of his dispose without observance or respect of any, in will peculiar and in self-admission.
Why will he not, upon our fair request, untent his person and share the air with us?
Things small as nothing, for a request's sake only, he makes important. Possessed he is with greatness, and speaks not to himself, but with a pride that quarrels at self-breath. Imagined worth holds in his blood such swollen and hot discourse that twixt his mental and active parts kingdomed Achilles in commotion rages and batters down himself. What should I say? He is so plaguy proud that the death tokens of it cry no recovery.
Let Ajax go to him. Dear Lord, go you and greet him in his tent. 'Tis said he holds you well, and would be led at your request a little from himself.
Agamemnon, let it not be so. We'll consecrate the steps that Ajax makes when they go from Achilles. Shall the proud lord that bastes his arrogance with his own seam, never suffers matter of the world enter his thoughts, save such as doth revolve and ruminate himself? Shall he be worshipped or that we hold an idol more than he? No, this thrice worthy and right valiant lord shall not so stale his palm nobly acquired, nor by my will subjugate his merit as amply titled as Achilles is by going to Achilles. That were to enlarge his fat already pride and add more coals to cancer when he burns with entertaining great Hyperion. This lord go to him? Jupiter forbid, and say in thunder, Achilles go to him.
Oh, this as well. He robs the vein of him.
And how his silence drinks up this applause.
If I go to him with my armored fish, I'll pass him over the face.
Oh no, you shall not go.
And he be proud with me, I'll feeze his pride. Let me go to him.
Not for the worth that hangs upon our quarrel.
A paltry, insolent fellow.
How he describes himself.
Can he not be sociable?
The raven chides blackness.
I'll let his humorous blood.
You will be the physician, that should be the patient.
And all men were of my mind.
Which would be out of fashion.
He should not bear it so. He should eat swords first. Shall pride carry it?
And would you carry half?
He would have 10 shares.
I will knead him. I'll make him supple.
He's not yet through warm. Force him with praises. Pour in, his ambition is dry.
My lord, you feed too much on this dislike.
Our noble general do not do so.
You must prepare to fight without Achilles. But 'tis this naming of him does him harm. Here's a man, but 'tis before his face. I will be silent.
Wherefore should you so? He is not manless as Achilles is.
Know the whole world, he is as valiant.
A horse and dog that shall palter with us thus. Would he were a Trojan.
What advice were it in Ajax now?
If he were proud.
Or of covetous praise.
Aye, or surly born.
Or strange or self-affected.
Thank the heavens, Lord, thou art of sweet composure. Praise him that gat thee, she that gave thee suck. Famed be thy tutor, and thy parts of nature thrice famed beyond thy erudition. But he that disciplined thine arms to fight, let Mars divide eternity in twain, and give him half, and for thy vigor, bull-bearing Milo his addition yield to sinewy Ajax. I will not praise thy wisdom, which, like a bourne, pale shore confines thy spacious and dilated parts. Here's Nestor, instructed by the antiquary times. He cannot be but wise. But pardon, Father Nestor, were your days as green as Ajax and your brain so tempered, you should not have the eminence of him, but be as Ajax.
Shall I call you father?
Be ruled by him, Lord Ajax.
There is no tarrying here. The heart Achilles keeps thicket. Please it our great general to call together all his state of war. Fresh kings are come to Troy. Tomorrow we must with all our main of power stand fast. And here's the Lord. Come knights from east to west and cull their flower, Ajax shall cope the best.
Go we to council, let Achilles sleep. Light boats sail swift, though greater hulks draw deep.
They exit. End of Act 2. Act 3, Scene 1. Enter Pandarus and Paris' serving man.
Friend, pray you a word. Do you not follow the young Lord Paris?
Aye, sir, when he goes before me.
Do you depend upon him, I mean?
Sir, I do depend upon the Lord.
Well, you depend upon a notable gentleman. I must needs praise him.
The Lord be praised.
Do you not?
Faith, sir, superficially.
Friend, know me better. I am the Lord Pandarus.
I hope I shall know your honor better.
I do desire it.
You are in the state of grace?
Grace, not so, friend. Honor and lordship are my titles. What music is this?
I do partly know, sir. It is music in parts.
Know you the musicians?
Wholly, sir.
Well, who do they play to?
To the hearers, sir.
At whose pleasure, friend?
At mine, sir, and theirs that love music.
Command, I mean, friend.
Who shall I command, sir?
Friend, we understand not one another. I am too courtly, and thou art too cunning. At whose request do these men play?
That's to tea indeed, sir. Marry, sir, at the request of Paris, my lord, who is there in person. With him, the mortal Venus, the hard blood of beauties, love, visible soul.
Who? My cousin Cressida?
No, sir. Helen. Could not you find out that by her attributes?
Seem, fellow, that thou hast not seen the Lady Cressida. I come to speak with Paris from the Prince Troilus. I will make a complimental assault upon him for my business sieves.
Sodden business. There's a stewed phrase indeed.
Enter Paris and Helen with attendants.
Fair be to you, my lord, and to all this fair company. Fair desires in all fair measure fairly guide them. Especially you, fair queen. Fair thoughts be your fair pillow.
Dear lord, you are full of fair words.
You speak your fair pleasure, sweet queen. Fair prince, here is good broken music.
You have broke it, cousin, and by my life, you shall make it whole again. You shall piece it out with a piece of your performance.
He is full of harmony.
Truly, lady, no.
Oh, sir.
Rude in good sooth, very rude.
Well said, my lord. Well, you say so in fits.
I have business to my lord, dear queen. My lord, will you vouchsafe me a word?
Nay, this shall not hedge us out. We'll hear you sing, certainly.
Well, sweet queen, you are pleasant with me. But marry thus, my lord, my dear lord, and most esteemed friend, your brother Troilus.
My lord Pandarus, honey, sweet lord.
Go to, sweet queen, go to. Commends himself most affectionately to you.
You shall not butt us out of our melody. If you do, our melancholy upon your head.
Sweet queen, that's a sweet queen in faith.
And to make a sweet lady sad is a sour offence.
Nay, that shall not serve your turn, that it shall not in truth. La, nay, I cannot for such words, no. And my lord, he desires that if the king call for him at supper, you will make his excuse.
My lord Pandarus.
What says my sweet queen, my very, very sweet queen?
What exploits in hand? Where sups he tonight?
Nay, but my lord.
What says my sweet queen? My cousin will fall out with you.
You must not know where he sups.
I'll lay my life with my disposer Cressida.
No such matter. You're wide. Come.
Well, I'll make his excuse.
Aye, good, my lord. Why should you say Cressida? No, your poor disposer's sick.
I spy.
You spy? What do you spy? Come, give me an instrument.
Attendant gives
Now,
him an
sweet
instrument.
queen.
Why, this is kindly done.
My niece is horribly in love with a thing you have, sweet queen.
She shall have it, my lord, if it be not my lord Paris.
He? No, oh, sure, none of him. They two are twain.
Falling in after falling out may make them three.
Oh, come, I'll hear no more of this. I'll sing you a song now.
Aye, prithee. Now, by my troth, sweet lord, thou hast a fine forehead.
Aye, you may, as you may.
Let thy song be love. This love will undo us all. Oh, Cupid, Cupid, Cupid.
Love. Aye, that it shall in faith.
Aye, good now. Love, nothing but love.
In good truth. It begins so. Love, nothing but love, still more. For oh, love's bow shoots buck and bow, the shaft confounds that, not that it wounds, but tickles still the sore. These lovers cry, oh ho, they die, and yet which seems the wound to kill doth turn, oh ho, to ha ha he, so die in lovely still. Oh ho, oh wow, but ha ha ha, oh ho, groans out for ha ha ha. Hey ho.
In love, in faith, to the very tip of the nose.
It's nothing but doves, love, and that breeds hot blood, and hot blood begets hot thoughts, and hot thoughts beget hot deeds, and hot deeds is love.
Is this a generation of love? Hot blood, hot thoughts, and hot deeds? Why, they are vipers. Is love a generation of vipers? Sweet Lord, who's afield today?
Hector, Deiphobus, Helenus, Antenor, and all the gallantry of Troy. I would fain have armed today, but my Nell would not have it so. How chance my brother Troilus went not?
He hangs the lip at something. You know all, Lord Pandarus.
Not I, honey sweet queen. Long to hear how they sped today. You'll remember your brother's excuse.
To a hair.
Farewell, sweet queen.
Commend me to your niece.
Oh, I will, sweet queen.
He exits.
There come from the field. Let us to Priam's hall to greet the warriors. Sweet Helen, I must woo you to help unarm our Hector. His stubborn buckles with these your white enchanting fingers touched shall more obey than to the edge of steel or force of Greekish sinews. You shall do more than all the island kings disarm great Hector.
'Twill make us proud to be his servant, Paris. Yea, what he shall receive of us in duty gives us more palm and beauty than we have. Yea, overshines ourself.
Sweet, above thought, I love thee.
They exit. Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Pandarus and Troilus' man, meeting.
Now, where's thy man? At my Cressida's?
No, sir. He stays for you to conduct him thither.
Enter Troilus.
He comes. How now, how now?
Sira, walk off.
Man exits.
Have you seen?
No, Pandarus. I stalk about her door like a strange soul upon the Stygian banks, staying for waftage. Oh, be thou my Charon, and give me swift transportance to those fields where I may wallow in the lily beds proposed for the deserver. Oh, gentle Pandar, from Cupid's shoulder pluck his painted wings, and fly with me to Cressid.
Walk here in the orchard. I'll bring her straight.
Pandarus exits.
I am giddy. Expectation whirls me round. The imaginary relish is so sweet that it enchants my sense. What will it be when that the watery palate taste indeed love's thrice repurred nectar? Death, I fear me, swooning destruction, or some joy too fine, too subtle potent, tuned too sharp in sweetness for the capacity of my ruder powers. I fear it much. And I do fear besides that I shall lose distinction in my joys, as doth a battle when they charge on heaps the enemy flying.
Enter Pandarus.
She's making her ready. She'll come straight. You must be witty now. She does so blush and fetches her wind so short, as if she were frayed with a spirit. I'll fetch her. 'Tis the prettiest villain. She fetches her breath as short as a new-taken sparrow.
Pandarus exits.
Even such a passion doth embrace my bosom. My heart beats thicker than a feverish pulse, and all my powers do their bestowing lose. like vassalage at unawares encountering the eye of majesty.
Enter Pandarus and Cressida veiled.
Come, come, what need you blush? Shame's a baby. Hey, here she is now. Swear the oaths now to her that you have sworn to me. What? Are you gone again? You must be watched ere you be made tame, must you? Well, come your ways, come your ways. And you drop, we'll put... Why do you not speak? Come. Oath you are to offend daylight. Close sooner. So on. Rub on and kiss the mistress.
They kiss.
How now? A kiss in a fee farm? Build there, carpenter. The air is sweet. Nay, you shall fight your hearts out ere I part you. The falcon as the tercel for all the ducks in the river. Go to.
You have bereft me of all words, lady.
Words pay no deeds. Give her deeds. But she'll bereave you of the deeds too if she call your activity into question.
They kiss.
Oh, what, billing again? Oh, here's in witness whereof the parties' interchangeability. Oh, come in. I'll go get a fire.
Pandarus exits.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Oh, Cressida, how often have I wished me thus?
Wished, my lord. The gods grant. Oh, my lord.
What should they grant? What makes this pretty abruption? What two curious dragas spies my sweet lady in the fountain of our love?
More dregs than water if my fears have eyes.
Fears make devils of cherubims. They never see truly.
Blind fear that seeing reason leads finds safer footing than blind reason, stumbling without fear. To fear the worst oft cures the worse.
Oh, let my lady apprehend no fear. In all Cupid's pageant there is presented no monster.
No, nothing monstrous neither?
Nothing but our undertakings. When we vow to weep seas, live in fire, eat rocks, tame tigers, thinking it harder for our mistress to devise imposition enough then for us to undergo any difficulty imposed. This is the monstrosity in love, lady, that the will is infinite and the execution confined, that the desire is boundless and the act a slave to limit.
They say all lovers swear more performance than they are able, and yet reserve an ability that they never perform, vowing more than the perfection of 10 and discharging less than the 10th part of 1. They that have the voices of the lions and the act of hares, are they not monsters?
Are there such? Such are not we. Praise us as we are tasted, allow us as we prove. Our head shall go bare till merit crown it. No perfection in reversion shall have a praise in present. We will not name desert before his birth, and be, Lord, his addition shall be humble. A few words to fair faith. Troilus shall be to Cressida as what envy can say worst shall be a mock for his truth, and what truth can speak truest, not truer than Troilus.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Enter Pandarus.
What? Blushing still? Have you not done talking yet?
Well, uncle, what folly I commit, I dedicate to you.
Well, I thank you for that. My lord get a boy of you, you'll give him me. Be true to my lord. If he filch, charge me for it.
You know now your hostages. Your uncle's word and my firm faith.
Nay, I'll give my word for her too. Our kindred, though they be long ere they be wooed, they are constant being one. They are burrs, I can tell you, they'll stick where they are thrown.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me heart. Prince Troilus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months.
Why was my Cressida then so hard to win?
Hard to seem won, but I was won, my lord. With the first glance that ever... Pardon me. If I confess much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but till now, not so much, but I might master it. In faith I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong for their mother. See, we fools. Why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not. And yet, good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, bid me hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. See your silence, cunning in dumbness, from my weakness draws my very soul of counsel. Stop my mouth.
And shall, albeit sweet music issues thence.
Yes.
Pretty, in faith.
My lord, I do beseech you pardon me. 'Twas not my purpose thus to beg a kiss. I am ashamed. Oh heavens, what have I done? For this time, I will take my leave, my lord.
Your leave, sweet Cressida.
Leave? And you take leave till tomorrow morning.
Pray you, content you.
What offends you, lady?
Sir, mine own company.
You cannot shun yourself.
Let me go and try. I have a kind of self resides with you, but an unkind self that itself believed to be another's fool. I would be gone. Where is my wit? I know not what I speak.
Well know they what they speak that speak so wisely.
Perchance, my lord, I show more craft than love, and fell so roundly to a large confession to angle for your thoughts. But you are wise, or else you love not. For to be wise and love exceeds man's might. That dwells with gods above.
Oh, that I thought it could be in a woman. As if it can, I will presume in you. To feed for aye her lamp and flames of love, to keep her constancy in blight and youth, outliving beauty's outward, with a mind that doth renew swifter than blood decays. Or that persuasion could but thus convince me that my integrity and truth to you might be affronted with the match and weight of such a winnowed purity in love. How were I then uplifted? But alas, I am as true as truth's simplicity, and simpler than the infancy of truth.
In that I'll war with you.
Oh, virtuous fights! When right with right wars, who shall be most right? True swains in love shall in the world to come approve their truth by Troilus. When their rhymes full of protest, of oath and big compare, want similes, truth tired with iteration, as true as steel, as plantage to the moon, as sun to day, as turtle to her mate, as iron to adamant, as earth to the center. Yet after all comparisons of truth, as truth's authentic author to be cited, as true as Troilus, shall crown up the verse and sanctify the numbers.
Prophet may you be, if I be false or swerve a hair from truth, when time is old and hath forgot itself, when water drops have worn the stones of Troy and blind oblivion swallowed cities up, and mighty states characterless are grated to dusty nothing. Yet let memory from false to false among false maids in love upbraid my falsehood, when they've said as false as air, as water, wind, or sandy earth, as fox to lamb, or wolf to heifer's calf, pard to the hind, or stepdame to her son. Yea, let them say, to stick the heart of falsehood, as false as Cressida.
Go to a bargain made. Seal it. Seal it. I'll be the witness. Here I hold your hand. Here my cousin's. If ever you prove false to one another, since I've taken such pains to bring you together, Let all pitiful go-betweens be called the world's end after my name. Call them all pandas. Let all constant men be Troiluses, and all false women Cressids, and all brokers between pandas. Say amen.
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 Amen. Whereupon I will show you a chamber with a bed. Which bed? Because it shall not speak of your pretty encounters. Press it to death. Away, and Cupid grant all tongue-tied maidens here. Bed, chamber, panda, to provide his gear.
They exit. Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Ulysses, Diomedes, Nestor, Agamemnon, Calchas, Menelaus, and Ajax. Now, princes, for the service I have done you, the advantage of the time prompts me aloud to call for recompense. Appear it to your mind that, though the sight I bear in things to come, I have abandoned Troy, left my possessions, incurred a traitor's name, exposed myself from certain and possessed conveniences to doubtful fortunes, sequestering from me all that time, acquaintance, custom, and condition made tame and most familiar to my nature, and here to do you service and become as new into the world, strange, unacquainted. I do beseech you, as in way of taste, to give me now a little benefit out of those many registered and promise, which you say live to come in my behalf.
What wouldst thou of us, Trojan, make demand?
You have a Trojan prisoner called Antenor yesterday took. Troy holds him very dear. Often have you thanks, therefore, desired my Cressid in right great exchange, whom Troy hath still denied. But this Antenor, I know, is such a rest in their affairs that their negotiations all must slack, wanting his manage. And they will almost give us a prince of blood, a son of Priam, in change of him. Let him be sent, great princes, and he shall buy my daughter, and her presence shall quite strike off all service I have done in most accepted pain.
Let Diomedes bear him, and bring us Cressid hither. Calchas shall have what he requests of us. Good Diomed, furnish your fairly for this interchange. Withal, bring word if Hector will tomorrow be answered in his challenge. Ajax is ready.
This shall I undertake, and 'tis a burden which I am proud to bear.
He exits with Calchas. Achilles and Patroclus stand in their tent.
Achilles stands in the entrance of his tent. Sees it, our general, pass strangely by him, as if he were forgot, and princes all lay negligent and loose regard upon him. I will come last. 'Tis like he'll question me, why such unplausive eyes are bent, why turned on him. If so, I have derision medicinable to use between your strangeness and his pride, which his own will shall have desire to drink. It may do good. Pride hath no other glass to show itself but pride, for supple knees feed arrogance and are the proud man's fees.
We'll execute your purpose and put on a form of strangeness as we pass along. So do each lord, and either greet him not, or else disdainfully, which shall shake him more, and if not looked on, I will lead the way.
They pass before Achilles and Patroclus. Ulysses remains in place, reading.
What, comes the general to speak with me? You know my mind. I'll fight no more against Troy.
What says Achilles? Would he aught with us?
Would you say, my lord, aught with my general?
No.
Nothing, my lord.
The better.
Agamemnon and Nestor exit.
Good day. Good day.
How do you? How do you?
He exits.
What, does the cuckold scorn me?
How now, Patroclus?
Good morrow, Ajax.
Huh.
Good morrow.
Aye, and good day too.
He exits.
What means these fellows? Know they not Achilles?
They pass by strangely. They were used to bend, to send their smiles before them to Achilles, to come as humbly as they used to creep to holy altars.
What am I, poor of late? 'Tis certain greatness, once fallen out of fortune, must fall out with men too. What the declined is, he shall as soon read in the eyes of others as feel in his own fall. For men, like butterflies, show not their merely wings, but to the summer. And not a man, for being simply man, hath any honor, but honor for those honors that are without him, as place, riches, and favor, prizes of accident as oft as merit, which when they fall, as being slippery slanders, the love that leaned on them as slippery too, doth one pluck down another, and together die in the fall. But 'tis not so with me. Fortunate and I are friends. I do enjoy the ample point, all that I did possess, save these men's looks, who do, methinks, find out something not worth in me such rich beholding, as they have often given. Here is Ulysses. I'll interpret his reading. How now, Ulysses?
Now, great Thetis' son.
What are you reading?
Strange fellow here writes me that man, how dearly ever parted, have much in having, or without, or in, cannot make boast to have that which he hath, nor feels not what he owes, but by reflection, as when his virtues, shining upon others, heat them, and they retort that heat again to the first giver.
This is not strange, Ulysses. The beauty that is born here in the face the bearer knows not, but commends itself to others' eyes, nor doth the eye itself, that most pure spirit of sense, behold itself. Not going from itself, but eye to eye opposed, salutes each other with each other's form. For speculation turns not itself till it hath travelled and is mirrored there, where it may see itself. This is not strange at all.
I do not strain in the position, it is familiar, but at the author's drift, who in his circumstance expressly proves that no man is lord of anything, though in and of him there be much consisting, till he communicate his parts to others. Nor doth he of himself know them for aught till he behold them formed in the applause where they're extended, who like an arch reverberates the voice again, or like a gate of steel fronting the sun, receives and renders back his figure and his heat. I was much wrapped in this, and apprehended here immediately the unknown Ajax. Heavens, what a man is there! A very horse that he knows not what. Nature, what things there are most abject in regard and dear in use, what things again most dear in the esteem and poor in worth. Now shall we see tomorrow an act that very chance doth throw upon him Ajax renowned. Oh heavens, what some men do while some men leave to do. How some men creep in skittish fortune's hall, whilst others play the idiots in her eyes. How one man eats into another's pride, while pride is fasting in his wantonness. To see these Grecian lords, why, even already they clap the lubber Ajax on the shoulder as if his foot were on brave Hector's breast, and great Troy shrieking.
I do believe it, for they passed by me as misers do beggars, neither gave to me good word nor look. What are my deeds forgot?
Time hath, my lord, a wallet at his back, wherein he puts alms for oblivion, a great-sized monster of ingratitude. Those scraps are good deeds past, which are devoured as fast as they are made, forgot as soon as done. Perseverance dear my lord, keeps honor bright. To have done is to hang quite out of fashion, like a rusty mail in monumental mockery. Take the instant way, for honor travels in a strait so narrow, where one but goes abreast. Keep then the path, for emulation hath 1,000 thoughts that one by one pursue. If you give way, or turn aside from the direct forthright, like to an entered tide, they all rush by and leave you hindmost, or like a gallant horse fallen in first rank, lie there for pavement to the abject rear, or run and trampled on. Then what they do in present, though less than yours in past, must o'ertop yours. For time is like a fashionable host that slightly shakes his parting guest by the hand, and with his arms outstretched as he would fly, grasps in the coming. Welcome ever smiles, and farewell goes out sighing. Let not virtue seek remuneration for the thing it was, for beauty, wit, high birth, vigor, own desert and service, love, friendship, charity, are subject to envious and calumniating time. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin, that all with one consent praise newborn gods, though they are made and molded of things past, and give to dust that is a little guilt more laud than guilt or dust. The present eye praises the present object. Then marvel not, thou great and complete man, that all the Greeks begin to worship Ajax, since things in motion sooner catch the eye than what stirs not. The cry lives once on thee, and still it might, and yet it may again. If thou wouldst not entomb thyself alive, encase thy reputation in thy tent, whose glorious deeds, but in these fields of late, made emulous missions mongst the gods themselves, drave great mods to faction.
Of this my privacy, I have strong reasons.
But against your privacy, the reasons are no more potent and baroque. 'Tis known, Achilles, that you are in love with one of Priam's daughters.
Known?
Is that a wonder? Providence that in a watchful state knows almost every grain of Pluto's gold, finds bottom in the uncomprehensive deep, keeps place with thought, and almost like the gods do thoughts unveil in their dumb cradles. There's a mystery, with whom relation durst never meddle in the soul estate, which hath an operation more divine than breath or pen can give expression to. All the commerce that you have had with Troy as perfectly is ours, as yours, my lord, and better would it fit Achilles much to throw down Hector than to Polyxena. But it must grieve young peers now at home when fame shall in our island sound her trump, and all the Greekish girls shall tripping sing, great Hector's sister did Achilles win, but our great Ajax bravely beat down him. Farewell, my lord. I, as your lovers speak, the fool slides over the ice that you should bring.
He exits.
To this effect, Achilles, have I moved you? A woman impudent and mannish grown is not more loathed than an effeminate man in time of action. I stand condemned for this. They think my little stomach to the war, and your great love to me restrains you thus. Sweet, rouse yourself, and the weak wanton Cupid shall from your neck unloose his amorous fold, and like a dewdrop from the lion's mane be choked to air.
Shall Ajax fight with Hector?
Ay, and perhaps receive much honor by him.
I see my reputation is at stake. My fame is shrewdly gored.
Oh, then beware. Those wounds heal ill that men do give themselves. A mission to do what is necessary. seals a commission to a blank of danger, and danger, like an egg, subtly taints, even then when they sit idly in the sun.
Go, call Thersites hither, sweet Patroclus. I'll send the fool to Ajax and desire him to invite the Trojan lords after the combat to see us here unarmed. I have a woman's longing, an appetite that I am sick withal, to see great Hector in his weeds of peace, to talk with him, and to behold his visage, even to the full of view.
Enter Thersites.
A labor saved.
A wonder.
What?
The Ajax goes up and down the field, asking for himself.
How so?
He must fight singly tomorrow with Hector, and is so prophetically proud of a heroical cudgeling that he raves in saying nothing.
How can that be?
Why, he stalks up and down like a peacock, astride and astand. Ruminates like a hostess that hath no arithmetic but her brain to set down her reckoning. Bites his lip with a politic regard, as who should say, there were wit in this hedge, and it without. And so there is, but it lies as coldly in him as fire in a flint, which will not show without knocking. The man's undone forever. For if Hector break not his neck in the combat, he'll break it himself in vainglory. He knows not me. I said, good morrow, Ajax. And he replies, thanks, Agamemnon. What think you of the man that takes me for the general? He's grown a very landfish, languageless, a monster, a plague of opinion. A man may wear it on both sides like a leather jerkin.
Thou must be my ambassador to him, Thersites.
Oh, I'll answer nobody. He professes not answering. Speaking is for beggars. He wears his tongue in his arms. I will put on his presence. Let Patroclus make his demands to me. You shall see the pageant of Ajax.
To him, Patroclus, tell him I humbly desire the valiant Ajax to invite the most valorous Hector to come unarmed to my tent and to procure safe conduct for his person of the magnanimous and most illustrious 6 or 7 times honored Captain General of the Grecian army, Agamemnon, etc., etc. Do this.
Jove bless great Ajax. I come from the worthy Achilles. Most humbly desires you to invite Hector to his tent, and to procure safe conduct from Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Ay, my lord. What say you to it?
I'll be with you with all my heart.
Your answer, sir.
If tomorrow be a fair day, by 11 of the clock you will go one way or other. Howsoever he shall pay for me ere he has me.
Your answer, sir?
Fare you will with all my heart.
Why, but he is not in this tune, is he?
Oh, but he's out of tune thus. What music will be in him when Hector has knocked out his brains, I know not. But I'm sure none, unless the fiddler Apollo get his sinews to make catlings on.
Come, thou shalt bear a letter to him straight.
Let me bear another to his horse, for that's the more capable creature.
My mind is troubled like a fountain stirred, and I myself see not the bottom of it.
Would the fountain of your mind was clear again, that I might water an ass at it. I'd rather be a tick and a sheep than such a valiant ignorance.
He exits. End of Act 3. Act 4, Scene 1. Enter at one door Aeneas with a torchbearer, at another Paris, Deiphobus, Antenor, Diomedes, and Grecians with torches.
See ho! Who is that there?
It is the Lord Aeneas.
Is the prince there in person? Had I so good occasion to lie long as you, Prince Paris, nothing but heavenly business should rob my bedmate of my company.
That's my mind too. Good morrow, Lord Aeneas.
A valiant Greek, Aeneas. Take his hand. Witness the process of your speech, wherein you told how Diomed a whole week by days did haunt you in the field.
Health to you, valiant sir, during all question of the gentle truce, but when I meet you armed as black defiance as heart can think or courage execute.
The one and other Diomed embraces. Our bloods are now in calm and so long health, but when contention and occasion meet, by Jove, I'll play the hunter for thy life with all my force, pursuit, and policy.
And thou shalt hunt a lion that will fly with his face backward. In human gentleness, welcome to Troy. Now by Anchises' life, welcome indeed. By Venus's hand, I swear, no man alive can love in such a sort the thing he means to kill more excellently.
We sympathize. Jove, let Aeneas live. If to my sword his fate be not the glory, 1,000 complete courses of the sun. But in mine emulous honor let him die, with every joint a wound, and that tomorrow.
We know each other well.
We do, and long to know each other worse.
This is the most despiteful, gentle greeting, the noblest hateful love that e'er I heard of. What business, Lord, so early?
I was sent for to the king, but why I know not.
His purpose meets you. 'Twas to bring this Greek to Calchas' house, and there to render him for the unfreed Antenor the fair Cressida. Let's have your company, or, if you please, haste there before us. I constantly believe, or rather, call my thought a certain knowledge my brother Troilus lodges there tonight. Rouse him and give him note of our approach, with the whole quality whereof. I fear we shall be much unwelcome.
That I assure you, Troilus had rather Troy were born to Greece than Cressida born from Troy.
There is no help. The bitter disposition of the time will have it so. On, Lord, we'll follow you.
Good morrow, all.
Aeneas exits with the torchbearer.
And tell me, noble Diomed, faith, tell me true, even in the soul of sound good fellowship, who, in your thoughts, deserves fair Helen best, myself or Menelaus?
Both alike. He merits well to have her that doth seek her, not making any scruple of her solure, with such a hell of pain and world charge, and you, as well, to keep her that defend her, not palading the taste of her dishonor with such a costly loss of wealth and friends. He, like a pulling cuckold, would drink up the lees and dregs of a flat timid peace. You, like a lecher, out of whorish loins are pleased to breed out your inheritors. Both merits poised. Each weighs nor less, nor more, but he is he, the heavier for a whore.
You are too bitter to your countrywoman.
She's bitter to her country. Hear me, Paris, for every false drop in her body veins, a Grecian's life hath sunk. For every scruple of her contaminated carrion weight, a Trojan hath been slain. Since she could speak, she hath not given so many good words breath as for her Greeks and Trojans suffered death.
Fair Diomed, you do as chapmen do, dispraise the thing that they desire to buy. But we in silence hold this virtue well. We'll not commend that not intend to sell. Here lies our way.
They exit. Act 4, Scene 2. Enter Troilus and Cressida.
Dear, trouble not yourself. Morn is cold.
Then, sweet my lord, I'll call mine uncle down. He shall unbolt the gates.
Trouble him not. To bed. Sleep, kill those pretty eyes, and give a soft attachment to thy senses as infants empty of all fault.
Good morrow then.
I pray thee now to bed.
Are you aweary of me?
Oh, Cressida, but that the busy day, waked by the lark, hath roused the ribald crows, and dreaming night will hide our joys no longer, I would not from thee.
Night hath been too brief.
For shrew the witch, with venomous whites she stained as tediously as hell, flies the grasps of love with wings more momentary swift than thought. You'll catch cold and curse me.
Prithee, tarry. You men will never tarry. Oh, foolish Cressid. I might have still held off, and then you would have tarried. Hark, there's one up.
What's all the doors open here?
It is your uncle.
A pestilence on him. Now he will be mocking. I shall have such a life.
Enter Pandarus.
How now? How now? How go maidenheads? Here, a maid! Where's my cousin Cressid?
Go hang yourself, you naughty, mocking uncle. You bring me to do, and then you flout me too.
To do what? To do what? Let us say what. What have I brought you to do?
Come, beshrew your heart. You'll ne'er be good, nor suffer others.
Alas, poor wretch. Poor Cappuccio has not slept tonight. Would he not? Oh, naughty man. Let it sleep. A bear bug take him.
Did I not tell you? Would he were knocked to the head. Who's that at the door? Good uncle, go and see. My lord, come you again into my chamber. You smile and mock me as if I meant naughtily. Come, you are deceived. I think of no such thing. How earnestly they knock. Pray you, come in. I would not for half of Troy have you seen here.
Troilus and Cressida exit.
Who's there? What's the matter? Will you beat down the door?
Enter Aeneas.
How now? What's the matter?
Good morrow, Lord. Good morrow.
Who's there? Oh, my Lord Aeneas. Oh, by my troth, I knew you not. What news with you so early?
Is not Prince Troilus here?
Here? What should he do here?
Come, here he is. Do not deny him. It doth import him much to speak with me.
Is he here, say you? Oh, it's more than I know, I'll be sworn. For my own part, I came in late. Yeah.
Oh, nay then, come, you'll do him wrong ere you are ware. You'll be so true to him to be false to him. Do not you know of him, but yet go fetch him hither. Go!
Enter Troilus.
How now? What's the matter?
My lord, I scarce have leisure to salute you. My matter is so rash. There is at hand Paris, your brother, and Deiphobus, the Grecian Diomed, and our Antenor, delivered to us. And for him forthwith, ere the first sacrifice within this hour, we must give up to Diomedes' hand the Lady Cressida.
Is it so concluded?
By Priam and the general state of Troy. They are at hand and ready to effect it.
How my achievements mock me! I will go meet them. And my lord Aeneas, we met by chance. You did not find me here.
Good, my lord. Secrets of nature have not more gift in taciturnity.
Troilus and Aeneas exit.
Is it possible? No sooner got but lost? Oh, the devil take Antenor. The young prince will go mad. A plague upon Antenor. I would they had...
Enter Cressida.
How now? What's the matter? Who was here?
Oh.
Why sigh you so profoundly? Where's my lord? Gone? Tell me, sweet uncle, what's the matter?
Would I were as deep under the earth as I am above.
Oh, the gods, what's the matter?
Pray thee, get thee in. Would thou hast never been born. I knew thou wouldst be his death, oh poor gentleman. A plague upon a tenor.
Good uncle, I beseech you, on my knees, I beseech you, what's the matter?
Thou must be gone, wretch. Thou must be gone. Thou art changed for a tenor. Thou must to thy father and be gone from Troilus. 'Twill be his death. 'Twill be his bane. He cannot bear it.
You immortal gods! I will not go!
Thou must.
I will not, uncle! I have forgot my father. I know no touch of consanguinity, no kin, no love, no blood, no soul, so near me is the sweet Troilus. Oh, you gods divine, make Cressid's name the very crown of falsehood if ever she leave Troilus. Time, force, and death, do to this body what extremes you can. But the strong base and building of my love is the very center of the earth, drawing all things to it. I'll go in and weep.
Do.
Tear my bright hair and scratch my brazen cheeks, crack my clear voice with sobs and break my heart with sounding Troilus. I will not go from Troy.
They exit. Act 4, Scene 3. Enter Paris, Troilus, Aeneas, Deiphobus, Antenor, and Diomedes.
It is great morning, and the hour prefixed for her delivery to this valiant Greek comes fast upon. Good my brother Troilus, tell you the lady what she is to do, and haste her to the purpose.
Walk into her house. I'll bring her to the Grecian presently. Into his hand when I deliver her, think it an altar, and thy brother Troilus a priest there offering to his own heart.
He exits.
I know what 'tis to love, and would, as I shall pity, I could help. Please you walk in, my lords.
They exit. Act 4, Scene 4. Enter Pandarus and Cressida.
Be moderate. Be moderate.
Why tell you me of moderation? The grief is fine, full, and perfect that I taste, and violent in his senses strong as that which causeth it. How can I moderate it? If I could temporize with my affection, or brew it to a weak and colder palate, the like allayment could I give my grief. My love admits no qualifying dross, no more my grief in such a precious loss.
Enter Troilus.
Here he comes. Oh, sweet ducks.
Oh, Troilus, Troilus.
What pair of spectacles is here? Let me embrace too. Oh, heart, as the goodly saying is. Oh, heavy, heavy heart, why sourest thou without breaking? Where he answers again, because thou canst not ease thy smartship nor by spaking. There was never a truer rhyme. Let us cast away nothing. We may live to have need of such a verse. We see it, we see it. How now, lambs?
Cressid, I love thee in so strained a purity that the blessed gods, as angry with my fancy, more bright in zeal than the devotion which cold lips blow to their deities, take thee from me.
gods' envy?
Aye, 'tis too plain a case.
And is it true that I must go from Troy?
A hateful truth.
What? And from Troilus too?
From Troy and Troilus.
Possible.
And suddenly, where injury of chance puts back leave taking, jostles roughly by all time of pause, rudely beguiles our lips of all rejoinder, forcibly prevents our locked embrasures, strangles our dear vows, even in the birth of our own laboring breath. We too, that with so many thousand sighs did buy each other, must poorly sell ourselves with the rude brevity and discharge of one. Injurious time now with the robber's haste crams his rich thievery up. He knows not how. As many farewells as be stars in heaven, with distinct breath and consigned kisses to them, he fumbles it up into a loose adieu, and scants us with a single famished kiss, distasted with the salt of broken tears.
My lord, is the lady ready?
Hark, you are called. Some say the genius cries so to him that instantly must die. Bid them have patience. She shall come anon.
Where are my tears? Rain to lay this wind or my heart will be blown up by the root.
He exits.
I must then to the Grecians.
No remedy.
Oh, woeful Cressida amongst the merry Greeks. When shall we see again?
Hear me, my love. Be thou but true of heart.
I true? How now? What wicked deem is this?
Nay, we must use expostulation kindly, for it is parting from us. I speak not, be thou true as fearing thee, for I will throw my glove to death himself, that there is no maculation in thy heart. But to be thou true, say I, to fashion in my sequent protestation. Be thou true, and I will see thee.
Oh, you shall be exposed, my lord, to dangers as infinite as imminent. But I'll be true.
And I'll go friend with danger. Wear this sleeve.
And you this glove. When shall I see you?
I will corrupt the Grecian sentinels to give thee like nightly visitation. But yet be true.
Oh, heavens, be true again.
Hear why I speak it, love. The Grecian youths are full of quality, their loving well composed with gift of nature flowing, and swelling o'er with arts and exercise. How novelty may move in parts with person, alas, a kind of godly jealousy, which I beseech you call a virtuous sin, makes me afeard.
Heavens, oh heavens, you love me not.
Die I a villain then? This I do not call your faith in question so mainly as my merits. I cannot sing, nor heal the high lavolts, nor sweeten talk, or play at subtle games, fair virtues all, to which the Grecians are most prompt and pregnant. But I can tell that in each grace of these there lurks a still and dumb discursive devil that tempts most cunningly. But be not tempted.
You think I will?
No. But something may be done that we will not, and sometimes we are devils to ourselves when we will tempt the frailty of our powers, presuming on their changeful potency.
Nay, good my lord.
Come, kiss and let us part.
Kiss.
Brother Troilus,
Good brother, come you hither, and bring Aeneas and the Grecian with you.
My lord, will you be true?
Who, I? Alas, it is my vice, my faults. Whiles others fish with craft for great opinion, I with great truth catch mere simplicity. Whilst some with cunning gild their copper crowns, with truth and plainness I do wear mine bare. Fear not my truth, the moral of my wit is plain and true. There's all the reach of it.
Enter Aeneas, Paris, Antenor, Deiphobus, and Diomedes.
Welcome, Sir Diomede. Here is the lady which for Antenor we deliver you. At the port, Lord, I'll give her to thy hand, and by the way possess thee what she is. Entreat her fair, and by my soul, fair Greek, if thou stand at mercy of my sword, name Cressida, and thy life shall be as safe as Priam is in Ilium.
Fair Lady Cressida, so please you, save the thanks this prince expects. The lustre in your eye, heaven in your cheek, pleads you fair usage, and to Diomed you shall be mistress, and command him wholly.
Grecian, thou dost not use me courteously, to shame the zeal of my petition to thee in praising her. I tell thee, Lord of Greece, she is as far high soaring o'er thy praises as thou unworthy to be called her servant. I charge thee, use her well, even from my charge. For by the dreadful Pluto, if thou dost not, though the great bulk Achilles be thy guard, I'll cut thy throat.
Oh, be not moved, Prince Troilus. Let me be privileged by my place and message to be a speaker free. When I am hence, I'll answer to my lust. And know you, Lord, I'll nothing do on charge. To her own worth she shall be prized, but that you say beats so, I speak in my spirit and honor. No.
Come to the port. I'll tell thee, Diomede, this brave shall oft make thee to hide thy head. Lady, give me your hand, and as we walk, to our own selves spend we our needful talk.
Cressida, Diomedes, and Troilus exit.
Hark, Hector's trumpet.
How have we spent this morning? The prince must think me tardy and remiss that swore to ride before him to the field.
'Tis Troilus' fault. Come to field with him.
Let us make ready straight.
Yea, with a bridegroom's fresh alacrity. Let us address to tend on Hector's heels. The glory of our Troy doth this day lie on his fair worth and single chivalry.
They exit. Act 4, Scene 5. Enter Ajax, armed, Achilles, Patroclus, Agamemnon, Menelaus, Ulysses, Nestor, etc., and a trumpeter.
Hear out thou an appointment fresh and fair, anticipating time with starting courage. Give with thy trumpet a loud note to Troy, thou dreadful Ajax, that the appalled air may pierce the head of the great combatant and hail him hither.
Thou trumpet, there's my purse. Now crack thy lungs and split thy brazen pipe. Blow, villain, till thy spirit biased cheek outswell the colic of puffed Aquilon. Come, stretch thy chest and let thy eyes spurt blood that thou blowest for Hector.
No trumpet answers.
'Tis but early days.
Enter Cressida and Diomedes.
Is not yon Diomed with Calchas's daughter?
'Tis he. I ken the matter of his gait. He rises on the toe. That spirit of his, an aspiration lifts him from the earth.
Is this the Lady Cressida?
Even she.
Most dearly welcome to the Greeks, sweet lady.
He kisses her.
Our general doth salute you, wish a kiss.
Yet is the kindness but particular. It were better she were kissed in general.
And very courtly counsel, I'll begin.
He kisses
So
her.
much for Nestor.
I'll take the winter from your lips, fair lady. Achilles bids you welcome.
He kisses her.
I had good argument for kissing once.
But that's no argument for kissing now, for thus popped Paris in his hardiment, and parted thus you and your argument.
He kisses her.
O deadly gall and theme of all our scorns, for which we lose our heads to gild his horns.
The first was Menelaus' kiss, this mine. Patroclus kisses you.
He kisses her again.
Oh, this is trim.
Paris and I kiss evermore for him.
I'll have my kiss, sir. Lady, by your leave.
In kissing, do you render or receive?
Both take and give.
I'll make my match to live. The kiss you take is better than you give. Therefore, no kiss.
I'll give you boot. I'll give you 3 for 1.
You are an odd man. Give even or give none.
An odd man, lady? Every man is odd.
No, Paris is not. For you know 'tis true that you are odd, and he is even with you.
You fillip me o' the head.
No, I'll be sworn.
It were no match, your nail against his horn. May I, sweet lady, beg a kiss of you?
You may.
I do desire.
Why, beg too.
Why then, for Venus' sake, give me a kiss when Helen is a maid again and his.
I am your debtor. Claim it when 'tis due.
Never's my day, and then a kiss.
Lady, a word. I'll bring you to your father.
Diomedes and Cressida talk aside.
A woman of quick sense.
Fie, fie upon her. There's language in her eye, her cheek, her lip. Nay, her foot speaks. Her wanton spirits look out at every joint and motive of her body. Oh, these encounterers, so glib of tongue that give accosting welcome ere it come, wide unclasp the tables of their thoughts to every tickling reader. Set them down for sluttish spoils of opportunity and daughters of the game.
Diomedes and Cressida exit.
The Trojan's trumpet.
Trumpet.
The Trojan's trumpet.
Enter all of Troy. Hector armed, Paris, Aeneas, Helenus, Troilus, and attendants.
Yonder comes the troop.
Hail, all the state of Greece! What shall be done to him that victory commands? Or do you purpose a victor shall be known? Will you, the knights, shall to the edge of all extremity pursue each other, or shall they be divided by any voice or order of the field? Hector bade ask.
Which way would Hector have it?
He cares not. He'll obey conditions.
'Tis done like Hector.
But securely done, a little proudly and great deal misprizing the knight opposed.
If not Achilles, sir, what is your name?
If not Achilles, nothing.
Therefore, Achilles. But whate'er know this, in the extremity of great and little, valor and pride excel themselves in Hector, the one almost as infinite as all, the other lank as nothing. Weigh him well, and that which looks like pride is courtesy. This Ajax is half made of Hector's blood, in love whereof half Hector stays at home. Half heart, half hand, half Hector comes to seek this blended knight, half Trojan and half Greek.
A maiden battle, then. Oh, I perceive you.
Enter Diomedes.
Here is Sir Diomed. Go, gentle knight, stand by our Ajax. As you and Lord Aeneas consent upon the order of their fight, so be it, either to the utmost or else a breath. The combatants being kin, half stints their strife before their strokes begin.
And Ajax enter the lists.
They're opposed already.
What Trojan is that same that looks so heavy?
The youngest son of Priam, a true knight, not yet mature, yet matchless firm of word, speaking in deeds and deedless in his tongue, not soon provoked, nor being provoked soon calmed, his heart and hand both open, both free. For what he has, he gives, what things he shows, yet gives he not till judgment guide his bounty, nor dignifies and impair thought with breath. Manly is Hector, but more dangerous. For Hector, in his blaze of wrath, subscribes to tender objects, but he, in heat of action, is more vindicative than jealous love. They call him Troilus, and on him erect a second hope, as fairly built as Hector. And thus says Aeneas, one that knows the youth even to his inches, and with private soul did in great Ilium thus translate him to me.
The fight begins.
They are in action.
Now, Isaac, hold thine own.
Sir, thou sleepst, awake thee!
His blows are well disposed. There, Ajax!
You must know more.
Princes, enough, so please you.
I am not warm yet. Let us fight again.
As Hector pleases.
Why then will I no more? Thou art, great lord, my father's sister's son, a cousin german to great Priam's seed. The obligation of our blood forbids a gory emulation twixt us twain. Were thy commixtion Greek and Trojan so, that thou couldst say this hand is Grecian all, and this is Trojan, the sinews of this leg all Greek, and this all Troy. My mother's blood runs on the dexter cheek, and this sinister bounds in my father's. By Jove multipotent, thou shouldst not hear from me a Greekish member, wherein my sword had not impression made of our rank feud. But the just gods gainsay that any drop thou borrowed at from my mother, my sacred aunt, should my mortal sword be drained, let me embrace thee, Ajax. By him that thunders, thou hast lusty arms. Hector would have them fall upon him thus. Cousin, all honor to thee.
They embrace.
I thank thee, Hector. Thou art too gentle and too free a man. I came to kill thee, cousin, and bear hence a great addition earned by thy death.
Not Neoptomus so mirable, on whose bright crest fame with her loud stoye cries, this is he, could promise to himself a thought of added honor torn from Hector.
There is expectance here from both the sides. What further you will do?
We'll answer it. The issue is embracement. Ajax, farewell.
They embrace again.
If I might in entreaties find success, as seld I have the chance, I would desire my famous cousin to our Grecian tents.
'Tis Agamemnon's wish, and great Achilles doth long to see an armed valiant Hector.
Aeneas, call my brother Troilus to me, and signify this loving interview to the expectors of our Trojan part. Desire them home.
Aeneas speaks to the Trojans, who exit. He then returns with Troilus.
Give me thy hand, my cousin. I will go eat with thee and see your knights.
Agamemnon and the rest come forward.
Great Agamemnon comes to meet us here.
The worthiest of them tell me name by name. But for Achilles, my own searching eye shall find him by his large and portly size.
Worthy all arms, as welcome as to one that would be rid of such an enemy. But that's no welcome. Understand more clear. What's past and what's to come is strewed with husks and formless ruin of oblivion. But in this extant moment, faith and troth, strained purely from all hollow bias drawing, bids thee with most divine integrity. From heart of very heart, great Hector, welcome.
I thank thee, most imperious Agamemnon.
My well-famed lord of Troy, no less to you.
Let me confirm my princely brother's greeting. You brace of warlike brothers, welcome hither.
Who must we answer?
The noble Menelaus.
Oh, you, my lord. By Mars his gauntlet, thanks. Mock not that I affect untraded oath. Your quondam wife swears still by Venus' glove. She's well, but bade me not commend her to you.
Name her not now, sir. She's a deadly theme.
Oh, pardon, I offend.
I have, thou gallant Trojan, seen thee oft, labouring for destiny, make cruel way through ranks of Greekish youth, and I have seen thee, as hot as Perseus, spur thy Pythagorean steed, despairing many forfeits and subduements, when thou hast thy advanced sword, if be the heir, not letting it decline on the declined, that I have said to some bystanders, my standers by, lo, Jupiter is yonder dealing life, and I have seen thee pause and take thy breath, when that have a ring of Greeks that hemmed thee in, like an Olympian wrestling. This have I seen, but this thy countenance still locked in steel, I never saw till now. I know thy grandsire, and once fought with him. He was a soldier good, but by my great Mars, the captain of us all, never like thee. Oh, let an old man embrace thee, and worthy warrior, welcome to our tents.
'Tis the old Nestor.
Let me embrace thee, good old chronicle, that has so long walked hand in hand with time. Most reverend Nestor, I am glad to clap thee.
They embrace.
I would my arms could match thee in contention, as they contend with thee in courtesy.
I would they could.
Ha! By this white beard, I'll fight with thee tomorrow. Well, welcome, welcome. I have seen the time.
I wonder now how yonder city stands when we have here her base and pillar by us.
I know your favor, Lord Ulysses, well. Ah, sir, there's many a Greek and Trojan dead since first I saw yourself and Diomed on Ilium on your Greekish embassy.
Sir, I foretold you then what would ensue. My prophecy is but half his journey yet, for yonder walls that pertly front your town, yon towers whose wanton tops do bust the clouds, must kiss their own feet.
I must not believe you. There they stand yet, and modestly, I think. The fall of every Phrygian stone will cost a drop of Grecian blood. The end crowns all, and that old common arbitrator, time, will one day end it.
So to him we leave it. Most gentle and most valiant Hector, welcome. After the general, I beseech you next to feast with me and see me at my tent.
I shall forestall thee, Lord Ulysses, thou. Now, Hector, I have fed mine eyes on thee. I have with exact view pursued thee, Hector, and quoted joint by joint.
Is this Achilles?
I am Achilles.
Stand fair, I pray thee. Let me look on thee.
Behold thy fill.
Nay, I have done already.
Thou art too brief. I will the second time, as I would by thee, view thee limb by limb.
Oh, like a book of sport thou it read me o'er, but there's more in me than thou understandst. Why dost thou so oppress me with thine eye?
Tell me, you heavens, in which part of his body shall I destroy him? Whether there, or there, or there, that I may give the local wound a name, and make distinct the very breach whereout Hector's great spirit flew. Answer me, heavens.
It would discredit the blessed gods, proud man, to answer such a question. Stand again. Think'st thou to catch my life so pleasantly as to prenominate in nice conjecture where thou wilt hit me dead?
I tell thee, yea.
Wert thou an oracle to tell me so, I'd not believe thee. Henceforth guard thee well, for I'll not kill thee there, nor there, nor there, but by the forge that stylied Mars his helm, I'll kill thee everywhere. Yea, o'er and o'er, you wisest Grecians, pardon me this brag. His insolence draws folly from my lips, but I'll endeavor deeds to match these words, or may I never.
Do not chafe thee, cousin. And you, Achilles, let these threats alone till accident or purpose bring you to it. You may have every day enough of Hector if you have stomach. The general state, I fear, can scarce entreat you to be odd with him.
I pray you let us see you in the field. We've had pelting war since you refused the Grecians' cause.
Dost thou entreat me, Hector? Tomorrow do I meet thee, fell as death. Tonight, all friends.
Thy hand upon that match.
First, all you peers of Greece, go to my tent. There in the full convive we. Afterwards, as Hector's leisure and your bounty shall concur together, severely entreat him. Beat loud the tambourines, let the trumpets blow, that this great soldier may his welcome know.
All but Troilus and Ulysses exit.
My lord Ulysses, tell me, I beseech you, in what place of the field doth Calchas?
At Menelaus' tent, most princely Troilus, there Diomed doth feast with him tonight, who neither looks upon the heaven nor earth, but he was all gaze and bent of amorous view on the fair crescent.
Shall I, sweet lord, be bound to you so much after we part from Agamemnon's tent to bring me thither?
You shall command me, sir. As gentle tell me, of what honor was this Cressida in Troy? Had she no lover there that wails her absence?
Oh, sir. To such as boasting show their scars a mock is due. Will you walk on, my lord? She was beloved, she loved. She is and doth. But still sweet love is food for fortune's tooth.
They exit. End of Act 4. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter Achilles and Patroclus.
I'll heat his blood with Greekish wine tonight, which with my scimitar I'll cool tomorrow. Patroclus, let us feast him to the height.
Here comes Thersites.
Enter Thersites.
How now, thou core of envy, thou crusty botch of nature, what's the news?
Why, thou picture of what thou seemest, and idol of idiot worshippers. Here's a letter for thee.
Whence the fragment?
Why, thou full dish of fool, from Troy.
Who keeps the tent now?
The surgeon's box or the patient's wound.
Well said, Adversity. And what need these tricks?
Prithee be silent, boy. I profit not by thy talk. Thou art said to be Achilles' male varlet.
Male varlet, you rogue. What's that?
Why, his masculine whore. Now the rotten diseases of the south, the guts-griping ruptures, catarrhs, loads of gravel in the back, lethargies, cold palsies, raw eyes, dirt-rotten livers, whizzing lungs, bladders full of imposthume, sciaticas, lime kilns in the palm, incurable bone ache, and the rival fee simple of the letter. Take and take again, such preposterous discoveries.
Why, thou damnable box of envy, thou, what means thou to curse thus?
Do I curse thee?
Why, no, you ruinous butt, you whoreson indistinguishable cur, no.
No. Why art thou then exasperate, thou idle, immaterial skein of sleeve silk? Thou green saucinet flap for a sore eye, thou tassel of a prodigal's purse, thou. How the poor world is pestered with such waterflies, diminutives of nature.
Out, gal.
Finch egg.
My sweet Patroclus, I am thwarted quite from my great purpose in tomorrow's battle. Here is a letter from Queen Hecuba, a token from her daughter, my fair love, both taxing me and gagging me to keep an oath that I have sworn. I will not break it. If all Greeks fail fame, honor, or go or stay, my major vow lies here. This I'll obey. Come, Thersites, help me to trim my tent. This night in banqueting must all be spent. Away, Patroclus.
He exits with Patroclus.
With too much blood and too little brain, these two may run mad. But if with too much brain and too little blood they do, I'll be a curer of madmen. Here's Agamemnon, an honest fellow enough, one that loves quails, but he has not so much brain as earwax. And the goodly transformation of Jupiter there, his brother, the bull, the primitive statue and oblique memorial of cuckolds, a thrifting shoeing horn and chain hang at his brother's leg. To what form but that he is, should wit larded with malice, and malice forced with wit, turn him to an ass were nothing, he is both ass and ox. To an ox were nothing, he is both ox and ass. To be a dog, a mule, a cat, a fichu, a toad, a lizard, an owl, a puttock, or a herring without a roe, I would not care. But to be Menelaus, I would conspire against destiny. Ask me not what I would be if I were not Thersites, for I care not to be the louse of a lazar, so I were not Menelaus.
Enter Hector, Troilus, Ajax, Agamemnon, Ulysses, Nestor, Menelaus, and Diomedes with lights.
Heyday, sprites and fires.
We go wrong. We go wrong.
No, yonder, 'tis there where we see the lights.
I trouble you.
No, not a whit.
Here comes Achilles to guide you.
Welcome, brave Hector. Welcome, princes all.
So now, fair Prince of Troy, I bid good night. Ajax commands the guard to tend on you.
Thanks, and good night to the Greeks, General.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, sweet Lord Menelaus.
Sweet draught, sweet, quoth he, sweet sink, sweet sewer.
A good night and welcome both at once to these that go or tarry.
Good night.
Agamemnon and Menelaus exit.
Old Nestor tarries, and you too, Diomed. Keep Hector company an hour or two.
I cannot, lord. I have important businesses. The tide whereof is now. Good night, great Hector.
Give me your hand.
Follow his torch. He goes to Calchas' tent. I'll keep you company.
Sweet sir, you honor me.
And so, good night.
Diomedes exits, followed by Troilus and Ulysses.
Come, enter my tent.
Achilles, Ajax, Nestor, and Hector exit.
Same Diomed's a false-hearted rogue, a most unjust knave. I will no more trust him when he leers than I will a serpent when he hisses. He will spend his mouth and promise like Brabbler the hound, but when he performs, astronomers foretell it. It is prodigious. There will come some change. The sun borrows of the moon when Diomed keeps his word. I will rather leave to see Hector than not to dog him. They say he keeps a Trojan drab and uses the traitor Calchas his tent. I'll after nothing but lechery, all incontinent varlets.
He exits. Act 5, Scene 2. Enter Diomedes.
What are you up to here, Ho? Speak.
Who calls?
Diomed. Calchas, I think. Where's your daughter?
She comes to you. Enter Troilus and Ulysses, at a distance, and then apart from them, Thersites.
Stand where the torch may not discover us.
Cressida comes forth to him.
How now, my charge?
Now, my sweet guardian. Hark, a word with you.
Hey, so familiar?
She will sing any man at first sight.
Any man may sing her, if he can take her clef. She's noted.
Do you remember?
Remember? Yes.
Nay, but do then, and let your mind be coupled with your words.
What should she remember?
List.
Sweet honey Greek, tempt me no more to folly.
Roguery.
Nay, then...
I'll tell you what.
Foe. Come, tell a pin. You are forsworn.
In faith I cannot. What would you have me do?
A juggling trick to be secretly open.
What did you swear you would bestow on me?
I prithee, do not hold me to mine oath. Bid me do anything but that, sweet Greek.
Good night.
Old patience.
How now, Trojan?
Diomed.
No. Good night. I'll be your fool no more.
Thy better must.
Hark, a word in your ear.
Oh, plague and madness!
You are moved, Prince. Let us depart, I pray you, lest your displeasure should enlarge itself to wrathful terms. This place is dangerous, the time right deadly. I beseech you, go.
Behold, I pray you.
Nay, my good lord, go off. You flow to great distraction. Come, my lord.
I prithee, stay.
You have not patience. Come.
I pray you, stay. By hell and all hell's torments, I will not speak a word.
And so, good night.
Nay, but you part in anger.
Doth that grieve thee? Oh, withered truth.
How now, my lord?
By Jove, I will be patient.
Guardian! Why, Greek!
Foe! Adieu, you palter.
In faith, I do not. Come hither once again.
You shake, my lord, at something. Will you go? You will break out.
She strokes his cheek.
Come!
Nay, stay. By Jove, I will not speak a word. There is between my will and all offenses a guard of patience. Stay a little while.
Oh, the devil luxury with his fat rump and potato finger tickles these together. Fry, lechery, fly.
But will you then?
In faith, I will. Never trust me else.
Give me some token for the surety of it.
I'll fetch you one.
She exits.
You have sworn patience.
Fear me not, my lord. I will not be myself nor have cognition of what I feel. I am all patience.
Enter Cressida with Troilus' sleeve.
Oh, the pledge. Now!
Here, Diomed. Keep the sleeve.
Oh, beauty, where is thy faith?
My lord!
I will be patient. Outwardly I will.
You look upon that sleeve. Behold it well. He loved me. Oh, false wench. Give it me again.
Was it?
It is no matter now that I have it again. I will not meet with you tomorrow night. I prithee, Diomed, visit me no more.
Now she sharpens. Well said, Whetstone.
I shall have it.
What, this?
Aye, that.
Oh, all you gods. Oh, pretty, pretty pledge. Thy master now lies thinking on his bed of thee and me, and sighs and takes my glove and gives memorial dainty kisses to it, as I kiss thee.
He grabs the sleeve and she tries to retrieve it.
Nay, do not snatch it from me.
He that takes that doth take my heart withal.
I had your heart before. This follows it.
I did swear patience.
You shall not have it, Diomed. Faith, you shall not. I'll give you something else.
I will have this. Whose was it?
It is no matter.
Come, tell me whose it was.
'Twas one's that loved me better than you will. But now you have it. Take it.
Whose was it?
By old Diana's waiting woman yond, and by herself, I will not tell you whose.
Tomorrow will I wear it on my helm, and grieve his spirit that dares not challenge it.
Wert thou the devil and worst it on thy horn, it should be challenged.
Well, 'tis done, 'tis past. And yet it is not. I will not keep my word.
Why then farewell. Thou never shalt mark Diamond again.
You shall not go. One cannot speak a word, but it straight stops you.
I do not like this fooling.
Nor I, by Pluto. But that likes not you pleases me best.
What, shall I come? The hour?
I come. Oh, Jove, do come. I shall be plagued.
Farewell. Till then.
Good night. I prithee, come.
He exits.
Troilus, farewell. One eye yet looks on thee, but with my heart the other eye doth see. Ah, poor sex. This fault in us I find, the error of our eye directs our mind. What error leads must err. Oh, then conclude. Minds swayed by eyes are full of turpitude.
Exits.
A proof of strength she could not publish more, unless she said my mind is now turned whore.
All's done, my lord.
It is.
Why stay we then?
To make a recordation to my soul of every syllable that here was spoke. But if I tell how these two did coact, shall I not lie in publishing the truth? Sith yet there is a credence in my heart, an esperance so obstinately strong, that doth invert the attest of my eyes and ears, as if those organs had deceptuous functions, created only to calumniate. Was Cressida here?
I cannot conjure, Trojan.
She was not, sure.
Most sure she was.
Why, my negation hath no taste of madness.
Nor mine, my lord. Cressida was here but now.
Let that not be believed for womanhood. Think, we had mothers. Do not give advantage to stubborn critics apt, without a theme of deprivation, to square the general sex by Cressida's rule. Rather, think this is not Cressida.
What hath she done, Prince, that can soil our mothers?
Nothing at all, unless that this was she.
Will he swagger himself out of his own eyes?
This? She? No. This is Diomede's Cressida. If beauty have a soul, this is not she. If souls guide vows, if vows be sanctimonies, if sanctimony be the god's delight, if there be rule in unity itself, this is not she. Oh, madness of discourse, that cause sets up with and against itself. bifold authority where reason can revolt without perdition, and loss assume all reason without revolt. This is and is not Cressid. Within my soul there doth conduce a fight of this strange nature, that a thing inseparate divides more wider than the sky and earth, and yet the spacious breath of this division admits no or effects for a point as subtle as Arachne's wooden broken hoof to enter. Instance, oh, instance strong as Pluto's gates, Cressid is mine, tied with the bonds of heaven. Instance, oh, instance strong as heaven itself, the bonds of heaven are slipped, dissolved and loosed, and with another knot, 5-finger tied, the fractions of her faith, orts of her love, the fragments, scraps, the bits and greasy relics of her o'er-eaten faith are given to Diomed.
May worthy Troilus be half attached with that which here his passion doth express.
Aye, Greek, and that shall be divulged well in characters as red as Mars his heart, and flamed with Venus. Never did young man fancy with so eternal and so fixed a soul. Hark, Greek, as much as I do Cressid love, so much by weight hate I her Diomed. That sleeve is mine that he'll bear on his helm. Were it a casque composed by Vulcan's skill, my sword should bite it. Not the dreadful spout which shipmen do the hurricanal call, constringed in mass by the almighty sun, shall dizzy with more clamor Neptune's ear in his descent than shall my prompted sword falling on Diomed.
He'll tickle it for his concupiscy.
Oh, Cressid. Oh, false Cressid. False. False. False! Let all in truth stand by thy stained name, and they'll seem glorious.
Contain yourself. Your passion draws ears hither.
Enter Aeneas.
I have been seeking you this hour, my lord. Hector by this is arming him in Troy. Ajax, your guard, stays to conduct you home.
Have with you, prince, my courteous lord, adieu. Farewell, revolted fair. And Diomed, stand fast and wear a castle on thy head.
I'll bring you to the gates.
Accept distracted thanks.
Troilus, Aeneas, and Ulysses exit.
Would I could meet that rogue Diomed. I would croak like a raven. I would bode. Patroclus will give me anything for the intelligence of this whore. The parrot will not do more for an almond than he for a commodious drab. Lechery, still wars and lechery. Nothing else holds fashion. A burning devil take them.
He exits. Act 5, Scene 3. Enter Hector, armed, and Andromache.
When was my lord so much ungently tempered to stop his ears against admonishment? Unarm, and do not fight today.
You train me to offend you. Get you in. By all the everlasting gods, I'll go.
My dreams will sure prove ominous to the day.
No more, I say.
Enter Cassandra.
Where is my brother Hector?
Here, sister, armed and bloody in intent. Consort with me in loud and dear petition. Pursue we on him on knees, for I have dreamt of bloody turbulence, and this whole night hath nothing been but shapes and forms of slaughter.
Oh, 'tis true.
Ho! Bid my trumpet sound.
No notes of Sally, for the heavens, sweet brother.
Begone, I say, the gods have heard me swear.
The gods are deaf to hot and peevish vows, They are polluted offerings, more abhorred than spotted livers in the sacrifice.
Be persuaded, do not count it holy to hurt by being just. It is as lawful, for we would give much to use violent thefts and rob in the behalf of charity.
It is the purpose that makes strong the vow, but vows to every purpose must not hold. Unarm, sweet Hector.
Hold you still, I say. Mine honor keeps the weather of my fate. Life every man holds dear, but the dear man holds honor far more precious dear than life.
Enter Troilus, armed.
How now, young man? Meanest thou to fight today?
Cassandra, call my father to persuade.
Cassandra exits.
No, faith, young Troilus. Doff thy harness, youth. I am today the vein of chivalry. Let grow thy sinews till their knots be strong, and tempt not yet the brushes of the war. Unarm thee, go, and doubt thou not, brave boy. I'll stand today for thee, and me, and Troy.
Brother, you have a vice of mercy in you, which better fits a lion than a man.
What vice is that? Good Troilus, chide me for it.
When many times a captive Grecian falls, even in the fan and wind of your fair sword, you bid them rise and live.
Oh, 'tis fair play.
Fools play, by heaven, Hector.
How now? How now?
For the love of all the gods, let's leave the hermit pity for our mother. And when we have our armors buckled up, the venomed vengeance ride upon our swords. Spur them to ruthful work. Rein them from ruth.
Fie, savage, fie.
Hector, then 'tis wars.
Troilus, I would not have you fight today.
Who should withhold me? Not fate, obedience, nor the hand of Mars, beckoning with fiery truncheon my retire. Not Priamus and Hecuba on knees, their eyes are galled with recourse of tears. Nor you, my brother, with your true sword drawn opposed to hinder me, should stop my way, but by my ruin.
Enter Priam and Cassandra.
Lay hold upon him, Priam. Hold him fast, he is thy crutch. Now, if thou loose thy stay, thou on him leaning, and all Troy on thee fall all together.
Come, Hector, come. Go back. Thy wife hath dreamt, thy mother hath had visions. Cassandra doth foresee, and I myself am like a prophet suddenly enwrapped to tell thee that this day is ominous. Therefore, come back.
Aeneas is afield, and I do stand engaged to many Greeks, even in the faith of valor to appear this morning to them.
Aye, but thou shalt not go.
I must not break my faith. You know me dutiful, therefore, dear sir, let me not shame respect, but give me leave to take that course by your consent and voice, which you do here forbid me, royal Priam.
Oh, Priam, yield not to him.
Do not, dear father.
Andromache, I am offended with you. Upon the love you bear me, get you in.
Andromache exits.
This foolish, dreaming, superstitious girl makes all these bodements.
Oh, farewell, dear Hector. Look how thou diest. Look how thy eye turns pale. Look how thy wounds do bleed at many vents. Oh, hark how Troy roars, how Hecuba cries out, how poor Andromache shrills her dolour forth. Behold, distraction, frenzy, and amazement, like witless antics, one another meet and all cry, Hector! Hector's dead! Oh, Hector!
Away! Away!
Farewell, yet soft. Hector, I take my leave. Thou dost thyself and all our Troy deceive.
She exits.
You are amazed, my liege, at her exclaim. Go in and cheer the town. Wheel forth and fight. do deeds worth praise, and tell you them at night.
Farewell. The gods with safety stand about thee.
Hector and Priam exit at separate doors.
They are at it. Hark. Proud Diomed, I believe I come to lose my arm or win my sleeve.
Enter Pandarus with a paper.
Do you hear, my lord? Do you hear?
What now?
Here's a letter come from yond poor girl.
Let me read.
Oh, a wholesome tisic. A wholesome, rascally tisic so troubles me. And the foolish fortune of this girl, that what one thing, what another, that I shall leave you one of these days. I have a rheum in my eyes too, and such an ache in my bones. Unless a man were cursed, I cannot tell what to think on it. What says she there?
Words. Words. Mere words. No matter from the heart. The effect doth operate another way. Go wind, to wind, their turn and change together. My love with words and errors still she feeds, but edifies another with her deeds.
They exit. Act 5, Scene 4. Enter Thersites.
Now they are clapper-clawing one another. Go look on. That dissembling, abominable varlet Diomed has got the same scurvy, doting, foolish young knave's sleeve of Troy there at his helm. I would fain see them meet, but that same young Trojan ass that loves the whore might send that Greekish whore-masterly villain with a sleeve back to the dissembling, luxurious drab of a sleeveless errand. On the other side, the policy of those crafty, swearing rascals, that stale old mouse-eaten dry cheese Nestor, that same dog-fox Ulysses, has proved not worth a blackberry. They set me up in policy, that mongrel cur Ajax, against that dog of as bad a kind Achilles. And now is the cur Ajax prouder than the cur Achilles, and will not arm today. Whereupon the Grecians begin to proclaim barbarism, and policy grows into an ill opinion. Soft. Here comes Sleeve and the other.
Fly not, for shouldst thou take the river Styx, I would swim after.
Thou dost miscall retire. I do not fly, but advantageous care withdrew me from the odds of multitude. Have at thee.
They fight.
Hold thy whore, Grecian. Out for the whore, Trojan. Now the sleeve. Now the sleeve.
Diomedes and Troilus exit fighting. Enter Hector.
What art thou, Greek? Art thou for Hector's match? Art thou of blood and honor?
No, I am a rascal, a scurvy, railing knave, a very filthy rogue.
I do believe thee. Live.
He exits.
Mercy, but thou wilt believe me. But a plague break thy neck for frighting me. What's become of the wenching rogues? I think they have swallowed up one another. I would laugh at that miracle, yet in a sort, lechery eats itself. I'll seek them.
He exits. Act 5, Scene 5. Enter Diomedes and the serving man.
Go, my servant. Take thou Troilus' horse. Present the fair steed to my lady Cressida. Fellow, commend my service to her beauty. Tell her I've chastised the amorous Trojan, and I am her knight, by proof.
I go, my lord.
He exits as Agamemnon enters.
Renew! The fierce Polydamas hath beat down Menon, bastard Margaraton hath Dorius prisoner, and stands Colossus wise, waving his beam upon the passioned courses of the kings Epistrophus and Sidius. Polyxenus is slain, Amphimachus and Thoas deadly hurt, Patroclus Taenor slain, and Palamedes sore hurt and bruised. The dreadful Sagittary appalls our numbers. Haste, we Diomed, to reinforcement, or we perish all.
Enter Nestor with soldiers bearing the body of Patroclus.
Go bear Patroclus' body to Achilles, and bid the snail-paced Ajax arm for shame.
Soldiers exit with Patroclus' body.
There is 1,000 Hectors in the field. Now here he fights on Galaf his horse, and here lacks work. Anon he's here afoot, and they fly or die like scaled schools before the belching whale. Then he is yonder, and there the strawny Greeks, ripe for his edge, fall down before him like a mower's swath. Here, there, and everywhere he leaves and takes. Dexterity so obeying appetite, that what he will he does, and does so much, that proof is called impossibility.
Enter Ulysses.
Oh, courage, courage, princes. Great Achilles is arming, weeping, cursing, vowing vengeance. Patroclus' wounds have roused his drowsy blood, together with his mangled myrmidons. That noseless, handless, hacked and chipped come to him crying on Hector. Ajax hath lost a friend and foams at mouth, and he is armed and at it roaring for Troilus, who hath done today mad and fantastic execution, engaging and redeeming of himself with such a careless force and forceless care, as if that luck, in very spite of cunning, bade him win all.
Enter Ajax.
Troilus, thou coward Troilus!
Aye, there!
He exits.
So, we draw together.
Enter Achilles.
Where is this Hector? Come, thou boy queller, show thy face. Know what it is to meet Achilles angry. Hector! Where's Hector? I will none but Hector.
He exits with the others. Act 5, Scene 6. Enter Ajax.
Troilus, thou coward Troilus, show thy head.
Enter Diomedes.
Troilus, I say. Where is Troilus?
What wouldst thou?
I would correct him.
Were I the general, thou shouldst have my office ere that correction. Troilus, I say, what? Troilus!
Enter Troilus.
Oh, traitor Diomed, turn thy false face, thou traitor, and pay the life thou owest me for my horse!
Ha! Art thou there?
I'll fight with him alone. Stand, Diomed.
He is my prize. I will not look upon.
Come, both you cogging Greeks! Have at you both!
Enter Hector. Troilus exits, fighting Diomedes and Ajax.
Yea, Troilus! Oh, well fought, my youngest brother.
Enter Achilles.
Now do I see thee. Ha! Have at thee, Hector!
They fight.
Pause if thou wilt.
Oh, I do disdain thy courtesy, proud Trojan. Be happy that my arms are out of use. My rest and negligence befriends thee now, but thou anon shalt hear of me again. Till when, go seek thy fortune.
He exits.
Fare thee well. I would have been much more fresher man had I expected thee.
Enter Troilus.
How now, my brother?
Ajax, teen Aeneas. Shall it be? No, by the flame of yonder glorious heaven, he shall not carry him. I'll be ta'en too, or bring him off. Fate, hear me what I say. I reck not though I end my life today.
He exits. Enter one Greek in armor.
Stand! Stand, thou Greek! Thou art a goodly mark, no? Wilt thou not? I like thy armor well. I'll thrush it, unlock the rivets all, but I'll be master of it.
The Greek exits.
Wilt thou not? Beast, abide! Why then fly on, I'll hunt thee for thy hide.
He exits. Act 5, Scene 7. Enter Achilles with the Myrmidons.
Come here about me, you my myrmidons. Mark what I say. Attend me where I wheel. Strike not a stroke, but keep yourselves in breath. And when I have the bloody Hector found, impale him with your weapons round about. In fellest manner execute your arms. Follow me, sirs, and my proceedings I. It is decreed, Hector the Great must die.
They exit. Act 5, Scene 8. Enter Thersites, then Menelaus fighting Paris.
Oh, cuckold and the cuckold maker. At it. Now, bull. Now, dog. Ooh, Paris. Ooh. Now, my double horn and spotting. Ooh, Paris. Ooh, the bull has got the game. Where horns, ho.
Paris and Menelaus exit fighting. Enter Margaretin.
Turn slave and fight.
What art thou?
A bastard son of Priam's.
I'm a bastard too. I love bastards. I'm bastard begot, bastard instructed, bastard in mind, bastard in valor, in everything illegitimate. One bear will not bite another, and wherefore should one bastard? Take heed, the quarrel's most ominous to us. If the son of a whore fight for a whore, he tempts judgment. Farewell, bastard.
He exits.
The devil take thee, coward.
He exits. Act 5, Scene 9. Enter Hector with the body of the Greek in armor.
Most putrefied core, so fair without, thy goodly armor thus hath cost thy life. Now is my day's work done, I'll take my breath. Rest, sword, thou hast thy fill of blood and death.
He begins to disarm as Achilles enters with his myrmidons.
Look, Hector, how the sun begins to set, how ugly night comes breathing at his heels, even with the veil of darkening of the sun to close the day up. Hector's life is done.
I am unarmed. Forgo this vantage, Greek.
Strike, fellows, strike. This is the man I seek.
The myrmidons kill Hector.
So, Ilium, fall thou next. Come, Troy, sink down. Here lies thy heart, thy sinews, and thy bones. On, Myrmidons, and cry you all amain. Achilles hath the mighty Hector slain. Hark, a retire upon the Grecian part.
The Trojan trumpets sound alike, my lord.
The dragon wing of night o'erspreads the earth, and stickler-like the armies separate. My half-supped sword, and frankly would have fed, pleased with this dainty bait, thus goes to bed. Come, tie this body to my horse's tail. Along the feed, I will the Trojan trail.
They exit with the bodies. Act 5, Scene 10. Enter Agamemnon, Ajax, Menelaus, Nestor, Diomedes, and the rest, marching to the beat of the drums. A shout within.
Hark, hark, what shout is this?
Peace, drums.
Achilles! Achilles! Hector's slain! Achilles!
The brood is Hector's slain, and by Achilles.
If it be so, yet bragless let it be. Great Hector was as good a man as he.
March patiently along, let one be sent to pray Achilles see us at our tent. If in his death the gods have us befriended, great Troy is ours, and our sharp wars are ended.
They exit, marching. Act 5, Scene 11. Enter Aeneas, Paris, Antenor, Deiphobus, and the Trojan soldiers.
Stand ho! Yet are we masters of the field. Never go home. Here starve we out the night.
Enter Troilus.
Hector is slain.
Hector, the gods forbid!
He's dead. And at the murderer's horse's tail, in beastly sort, dragged through the shameful field. Frown on, you heavens. Effect your rage with speed. Sit, gods, upon your thrones, and smile and smite at Troy. I say at once, let your brief plagues be mercy, and linger not our shore destructions on.
My lord, you do discomfort all the host.
You understand me not that tell me so. I do not speak of flights, of fear, of death, but dare all imminence that gods and men address their dangers in. Hector is gone. Who shall tell Priam so, or Hecuba? Let him that will a screech owl eye be called go into Troy and say their Hector's dead. There is a word will Priam turn to stone, make wells and niobes of the maids and wives, cold statues of the youth, and in a word, scare Troy out of itself. But march away. Hector is dead. There is no more to say. Stay yet, you vile, abominable tents, thus proudly pitched upon our Phrygian plains. The Titan rise as early as he dare. I'll through and through you. And size coward, no space of earth shall sunder our two hates. I'll haunt thee like a wicked conscience still, that moldeth goblins swift as frenzy's thoughts. Strike a free march to Troy. With comfort go. Hope of revenge shall hide our inward woe.
Enter Pandarus.
Hear you.
Hence, broker, lackey. Ignominy and shame pursue thy life, and live I with thy name.
All but Pandarus exit.
Medicine for my bone. Whoa. Is the poor agent despised? Oh, traitors and bawds, how earnestly are you set to work, and how illy requited. Why should our endeavour be so loved, and the performance so loathed? What verse for it? What instance for it? Let me see. Full merrily the humble bee does sing, till he hath lost his honey and his sting. And being once subdued in armoured tale, sweet honey and sweet notes together fail. Good traders in the flesh, set this in your painted cloths. And many, as be here of Pandar's hall, your eyes half out, weep at Pandar's fall. Or if you cannot weep, yet give some groans, though not for me, yet for your aching bones. Brethren and sisters of the hold door trade, some 2 months hence my will shall be made. It should be now, but that my fear is this, some galled goose of Winchester would hiss. Till then I'll sweat and seek about for eases, and at that time bequeath you my diseases.
He exits. End of play. Thank you for joining us for Troilus and Cressida. A big thanks again to our friend, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. Visit him at his website, shakespeareapproves.com, or on Facebook at Shakespeare Approves, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. We have links to all of his content and more in the comments of this video. We'd once again like to thank all of the actors who have volunteered to read with us this evening. If you have enjoyed this reading, all of our past readings are available on our Facebook page and a little better organized on our website, zenithplayers.com. If you want more information on us, including how to be involved in a reading like this one and be one of the beautiful faces you see around me, go to our Facebook page, Zenith Players, and send us a message, or send an email to casting@zenithplayers.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. We want to continue to express our support to everyone out there working to keep us safe and those continuing to protest and demonstrate. Join us this Monday for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And Halloween night, October 31st and November 1st, we will present Night of the Living Dead. Thank you and good night.